Now I'm live on TikTok and YouTube. I'm just sitting here like, why ain't nobody watching me? That's weird. I wouldn't ever live. All right, so listen, I'm not the girl. I don't know about cleansers. You know, the only cleansers I use is Ajax. Fabuloso. That's the only cleaning I know about. Okay. But I know what you get. You're going to get it from an herbalist. You're going to get it from a lady who is a spiritualist. She says she practices hoodoo. She's a self-proclaimed. Let me tell you where to get it from. She's a self-proclaimed hoodoo person. She's in her 40s. She's brown skin. She's on TikTok. She's also a herbalist. You're going to get what you need from her. Okay, you're going to get what you need from her. Hey, thank you, Tiffany, to you. So that's what you need to find. She's brown skin in her 40s. She's the proclaimed hoodoo practitioner, and you're going to order the cleanse from her. That cleanse she give you shouldn't be no more than $40, $45. Anything more than that, she playing games. She playing with your top. Okay? So go ahead and just go and Google practitioners, hoodoo practitioners or herbalists, and you'll find them. What's up in that? You couldn't tell me I wasn't online, friend. You couldn't tell me I wasn't online. That's crazy. You're welcome, honey bun. Don't ask me about no cleansing. Hell, I'll be telling you to get some Dove soap and go take a shower. I don't get into all of that. All right, Carisha says, should I apply for the supply technician job? Yes, you can. I'm good. Thank you, Tasha. Y'all, I am fine. Thank you so much. I got out today and ran some errands and got some fresh air and all that good stuff. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Otto. So yes, you should apply for the supply technician job. But I want you to understand there's another position that's going to be higher than that one that's coming along in about 2 weeks. I want you to apply that one too. Even if you have the interview for the supply technician job, I want you to apply for that one too. Okay. You said, I wish it was that easy to get rid of that net. What did you do to keep them? I'm about to be in your business. What did you do to get them, Nina? What did you do to get them? Hey, y'all. What did you get? What did you do to get them? I watched a lady on here. Y'all want to hear about my Valentine's Day in 1998? Honey, that's before I've been knowing a long time. So y'all, while we waiting on cash apps or people to ask questions, I'm gonna tell y'all about the worst Valentine's Day I ever had. Okay, hold on. Wolf said, "Is Dion my soulmate?" Yes, Dion is your soulmate, but Dion is gonna go through 2 more relationships before Dion recognizes that they're your soulmate. Okay. So y'all, back in 1998, now I was pregnant with somebody else's baby. I was pregnant. I was pregnant, but didn't know I was pregnant yet. So my baby father had went to prison, had went to jail. And I had started dating somebody else. I was always dating somebody else. Let me be honest with y'all. I was always dating other folks, okay? There ain't nothing about me changed really too much in that department. I'm just trying to walk, closer with God. But I've always had tendencies anyway. And I didn't know I was pregnant. I thought I had the flu. So every time that I've gotten pregnant, I always feel like I'm sick, like I had the flu. Now, by the 3rd baby, I knew, oh, this is a pregnancy. It's not pneumonia. You don't catch pneumonia in the summertime. This is a pregnancy. But when I got pregnant, my 1st and 2nd babies were born in September, which means I got pregnant around Christmas break. So that's in the wintertime. It's cold outside. So that Christmas break, so my oldest son was like 3 months old. I was dealing with somebody else. His name was Tyrone. Tyrone was older than me. Tyrone lived, now I'm 17, 18, I'm like 18 years old. Tyrone is not, hey friend. You said, damn, I knew it. You said the boy down the street, and that's who I thought about. Okay, friend. You said you love, I love you can tell the truth on yourself. I mean, here's the deal. I'm not going to sit up here crazy. Who does that? Let me tell y'all what happened. So I was dating Tyrone. My baby daddy had went to jail. You know what I'm saying? So the judge broke us up. You feel me? So I was dating Tyrone. What I did know is that I had got pregnant before he had went to prison. When did his first state bid, I got pregnant. I didn't know that. So I ended up sick. Now, mind you, I was doing a little razzle dazzle with Tyrone, but by that time I was already pregnant. Again, I didn't know. So y'all, Tyrone used to come over to my grandmother's house. My grandmother didn't like it because he was so much older than me. But she was like, you know what? You already got a baby. He's better than your baby father, because my baby father was in the streets. And so she allowed it. She supervised it, but she allowed it, right? All right, so I'm going on the story. So he had told me that he was going to come to my grandmother's house on Valentine's Day. And he was going to cook this meal for me and my grandmother. My grandmother is a divorced widow. She had 3 husbands and a baby daddy. Don't judge me. That's probably where I get it from. So he had told my grandmother that he was going to come to the house because he lived with his aunt and uncle. It was like a lot of people that lived in his house, the house he lived in. So it was just me and my grandmother. He was like, I'm going to come here and I'm going to cook for you and Misty, you know, make y'all a Valentine's Day dinner, blah, blah, blah. So he can spend Valentine's with me. So my grandmother allowed it. So y'all, I was on the couch waiting on him. I'm in and out of sleep because I'm sick. Didn't know I was pregnant, but I'm sick. And at the time, I wasn't driving because I was still a teenager. I didn't have no car at 18. And so he lived like probably about close to 2 miles away from me. Probably a little bit under 2 miles away from me, right? We had only did that walk maybe 2 or 3 times. Now, mind y'all, this is 1998. I'm 18 and I'm all of 100. I'm all of 160 pounds at 18. I'm 160 at 18, okay? So, y'all, I'm laying there on the couch. I'm calling him. He not answering his cell phone. I'm like, what is really going on? Like, where's he at? So, y'all, it gets later. Now, this is Valentine's Day in Cleveland, Ohio, so it starts snowing. What's up, Miss Doris? It starts snowing. And I'm on the couch and my grandmother tells me, she said, Misty, she said, go to bed. She said, obviously he's not coming. And y'all, my little heart was broke. But I knew like he had a child. And my grandmother said it could have been something that happened with his child. You never know. But I knew that wasn't it. Why? Because I be knowing. I knew that there was something else going on. Y'all, my grandmother had went upstairs. She had went upstairs to go do something, maybe change her clothes. And I left out the house. You see what I'm saying? Listen, I left out the house. And at 10 o'clock at night, by myself, pregnant, with my second child, not knowing, 18 years old, I put on my coat and my boots. I had a temperature of like 101. Every time I got pregnant, it felt like pneumonia, right? I had a temperature of 101. And I was up naturally, Naida, and I started walking. And I would not stop. I started walking in the dead of the night. And my grandmother did not live in a good neighborhood, y'all. And I started walking. This is on Valentine's Day, 1998. And I started walking. And I finally reached his house. Mind you, it's about a little bit under 2 miles away. It took me probably almost an hour to get there. Well, not an hour, probably about 45 minutes. It's starting to lightly snow. And it's in the dead of the night. So I get to the house. The house is lit up. There's a lot of activity going on. It was his aunt and uncle house. They had like 3 grown kids, you know, who all had like 3 grown kids, like in their early 20s, who all had, not I was 3, shut up, some kid, who all had like boyfriend, girlfriends. They knew me, they loved me, they accepted me. So when I showed up, his cousin Shamir, and now I am not protecting the names, like these are all these people's names. His cousin Shamir, she looked at me when she came to the door and saw it was me. She said, Misty, I'm so sorry. And I said, sorry. She said, I'm so sorry. And I said, Shamir, let me in. And so his other cousin, which is, I forgot the guy's name. He's a stripper now. But that's neither here nor there. He was just like, Misty, man, I told him he was dead wrong for what he did, blah, blah, blah. So, y'all, he had told me about all this stuff that he had bought for me, like balloons. Now, Tyrone used to buy me stuff, okay? So he told me about all this stuff that he had bought for me, balloons, teddy bear, everything. So I went upstairs. Now, he wasn't there. I went upstairs to where he shared a room. Him and his cousin shared the attic. So I went straight upstairs to the attic. And I saw balloons and bears and candy and stuff like that. But he was nowhere to be found. And there was a card under the balloons, the bear, the candy, and everything like that. And I picked up the card. The card had no name on the front. And when I picked up the card, I opened up the card, and when you first open up the card, you see the you say you remember Tyrone? Linda, how you know Tyrone? You remember you see the writing. I don't think I never told y'all the story about Tyrone. You see the writing in the card, and it said Love Ty. That's what he called himself, Ty. And before something said, I was gonna close the card because I just assumed that this was my stuff. And whatever reason he wasn't there and then bring it to me. But then I flipped the card open again and he said, to my darling Nikki, like the Prince song. So the things that was there was not for me. That was for a lady named Nikki. So when his family, his cousins watched me open up the stuff, mind you, I done walked there in the heat in the dead of night, and they watched me open up the things, right? And they said, you know, they got to spilling the tea. So the mother, I did talk about him, okay. So the aunt, which was the girl with the kid's mom, but his aunt, she was always real with me. And she said, baby, come here. She said, have a seat. She told me everything. She said that he had went with a lady. He had met an older lady named Nikki. And even though he was older than me, so if I was 18, Tyrone might have been 23, 24. This lady, Nikki, was in her 30s. She had kids and like grown, like big kids. She was in her 30s. And that's who he had been seeing with. And they said that he always he always had plans to hang out with Nikki on Valentine's Day. And he was trying to get them to help him lie to me about something on Valentine's Day. His original lie was going to be that his son, Darion, had got sick. Baby, I'm dropping all the names. His son, Darion, who was good and grown. Now, Darion got to be about 25 years old. That his son, Darion, had gotten sick and it was an emergency. So if I was to call or pop up, that I would say Darion, him, Nicole, Nikki, or Letty had came to the house to come get him and come see him. He had those presents there for her. And then they had left to go out to dinner. And of course, he couldn't lay up with Nikki there. So they were going to get a hotel room because her kids were at home. The auntie offered to let me stay there. She said, you can't go back like this. It's too cold. She said, you can stay here. You can sleep in the Shamir room. That was her daughter. She said, he's not coming back here tonight. And I said, no. I said, I'm going to go home. So the father ended up, their dad, the uncle, ended up driving me home. And y'all, when I tell you that was probably the first time I ever experienced a heartbreak, I don't know what to like. It was crazy. Now, Tyrone came back around, you know, once they told him, his cousins told him. Hold on, y'all. So listen, y'all, I mean, I know this is donation, y'all, but $1 and $2 I normally send them back. Unless you want to get a yes or no. So Brittany said, is Roger my soulmate? Yes, Brittany. Brielle said, is Keelan getting a female a gift for Valentine? Yes, he is. He's getting somebody a gift for Valentine's Day, cracky. Renee, hold on, Renee. Let me see what you're talking about. Y'all, if you only listen, I would rather you listen. Y'all, please don't get to sending me no doggone $2 here and there. Will Rajeen come back to me before April to work on us? No. Y'all, listen. When I do once you get it, you say what it keeps glitching. We know why the shit glitching, y'all. Come on now, Facebook. If you want to go on to YouTube and it's holding good. YouTube and Facebook is holding good. Y'all wanna come over? Go to I Am Coach Misty. Not Keelan. Go to I Am Coach Misty on YouTube. I'm on YouTube right now. It's holding strong. You can go watch me on YouTube. The same information. I Am Coach Misty. Okay? Yes, friend. I am Coach Misty. Now, if you've been watching, if y'all been watching me, y'all know why it's glitching. I don't want to go into that. We having a good day. Thank you, Miss Denise. She said she had to leave TikTok. It was glitching. We know why it's glitching, okay? My energy is on something different. You had to come over there, right? So y'all can go to YouTube. I Am Coach Misty. If it's glitching over here, go to YouTube. Why am I glitching? Sakia, that's a whole nother. Hey, friend, that's a whole nother thing about why I'm glitching. That's something totally different. All right. Thank you, friend. All right, Monique. So y'all, of course he came. Yeah. So of course he came back the next day trying to, yes, thank you. So of course he came back the next day and he was trying to, not the next day. He waited like 2 days. Of course, his cousins called him and told him about what was going on. Of course, his cousins called him and told him about what's going on, right? Hold on, y'all. Let me make sure I'm on Do Not Disturb. Hold on, y'all. Let me put it on Do Not Disturb. Hold on, y'all. I don't know why I'm doing that. Like, that's going to help. That ain't going to help nothing, but I don't know why I'm doing this. Like, that's going to cause something to do something, and it ain't. Hold on. Do Not Disturb. I don't even know why. You said I'm on the storefront church now? Shut your ass up. Let's go to Do Not Disturb. Let's put that on as if that's going to do something. It probably ain't, Jesus. I don't even know why I did that. Now I can't even get back to the TikTok. What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? All right, y'all. I put it back on Do Not Disturb. Like I tell people, come watch me on YouTube. Come watch me on YouTube, y'all. I put it on Do Not Disturb. Not like that's going to do anything different. You had to come to the book. I know that's right. So, y'all, that's what happened with me and Tyrone. So, he was trying to make amends and all this stuff. He was still dating Nikki. He was trying to, like, let me down slowly but surely. Jay, I answered that question. Or Jamie, I answered that question. But here's the deal. Vengeance is mine. Okay. I don't know why I keep going off like that. Oh, because all y'all is talking about it on this. You say not the had to switch. All right, cool. I think I missed my question due to TikTok. Brittany, did you send me a Cash App question, Brittany? Let me see what your question was. Brittany, you said, is Roger my soulmate? I said, yes, ma'am. Roger is your soulmate. Congratulations. Okay. That was my first Valentine's Day date. That was one of them. I had another Valentine's Day when I went out with a dude named Hakeem. Hakeem mama was a doctor in Cleveland. Yes, Erica. And Hakeem thought we could do a double date. This double date happened before I had kids. So I was about 15, 16 years old. It had to be no earlier than I was 16. Because I got pregnant with my first son when I was 16. Yes, thank you for coming over to YouTube. That makes sense. Y'all should probably go over to YouTube. I am Coach Misty on YouTube if this is glitching out. So listen, y'all. His name was not Hakeem, it was Hassan. So I met this dude named Hassan at the mall. This is my second worst Valentine's Day. I met this dude named Hassan at the mall. And me and Hassan hit it off. His mom was a well-respected doctor in Cleveland. And his dad was a very, professional, high profile professional. And so Hassan and I started dating. No, I'm lying. I already had a baby. I think you know what? Baby, I did a lot of hoeing. Y'all. After I had that baby, I was hot to trot. I'm just thinking about it now. Like, I really need to take a self-evaluation of my life. Like, I was really doing a lot. Somebody said they missed their question. Winnie Jackson, what question? Winnie, did you pay for a question? Winnie, did you pay for a question? Who is the ushers in here? I need an offering envelope. Shut your ass up, Lance. They say they over on makeshift. They on YouTube church. Lance, who is the ushers in here? He need an offering envelope. Shut up. I can't take him. So no, I had a baby. I had, when my baby daddy got sentenced to them 3 years, I really let loose. When my baby daddy got sentenced to them doggone 3 years, I really acted a fool. Because I had about our Denise say she's on the door tonight. Yes, I really did a fool when my baby daddy got them 3 years. Okay, I did. The judge broke us up. Okay, because I started dating Hassan, and that's probably why I didn't really know who my baby daddy was when Aaron was born. You know what? That's too much of my information for y'all. But anywho, that's probably I was dating Tyrone. I was dating this little ugly dude that worked at the same store with Tyrone, but he ended up working across the street at another store. And then I dated Hassan for a minute. Okay, so it was like 3 of them. I dated 3 people. And then what happened is then I'm gonna go back to Hassan, why I was one of the worst Valentine's Day date. So clearly I can't even be mad. Hold on, y'all. Now that I think about it, Hassan and I went out right before Valentine's Day. So I couldn't be mad about Hassan on Valentine. I couldn't be mad at Tyrone because I clearly was dealing with Hassan. This is a time of self-reflection, people. This is a time of self-reflection. How can I be mad at this man for playing me? Maybe because he told me he was coming to cook. I probably was hungry. How can I be mad at somebody for playing me when I was playing everybody involved? I need to apologize to Tyrone because I'm going to tell you, hold on. Let me tell y'all something. God has brought me a long way. Let Let me tell you, I'm going to go back to Hassan. Let me tell you what I did to Tyrone. God has brought me a long way. Now, Tyrone and Nikki ended up moving to Vegas together and doing a lot of stuff when I had my baby. I have never seen so many people try to get me to go take a blood test when I wasn't trying to claim none of my baby daddies. Now, whoever got the pink deuce on the quarter outside, your lights are on. Shut up, Lance. I just realized for my daughter, I had 3.5 men, my first daughter, trying to claim my baby. I had 3.5 men trying to claim my baby. I actually had 2 of them men took me downtown for doggone paternity. I said, yikes. I said, there's women out here that can't keep the baby daddy they got. And baby, I got 3.5 men trying to claim this one. Huh? I was doing, listen, Tyrone was in Vegas. Tyrone had left town. Him and Nikki was living together, and they decided to move to Vegas. Tyrone had left Vegas. Huh? Listen, I hate y'all in the comments. Oh, they are clowning on YouTube. Y'all better go to YouTube. They are clowning on YouTube. I had 3.5 baby daddies, and all of them, except for Tyrone, was good stock. They was good stock. Now, Aaron came out looking biracial. Aaron was lighter than me. She had green eyes. She had green grayish eyes, and she had beautiful locks of hair, big curls. I didn't know who baby this was. Okay? Now she looked like my mother. I used to do the baby test with her. I used to do the baby daddy test. Yes, Mima. I used to do the baby daddy test. I remember taking her over to one dude house, the little ugly one. I know damn well that wasn't his baby. How did you have 3.5 baby daddies? Because I was active. Don't ask no questions, Doris. Just stay with me. I had 3.5 men try to claim my child. So listen, I was active. That's how. So y'all listen, let me tell y'all what happened. This is real. I remember taking my baby over to one dude house. He had no children, and he was so ugly. And he wanted a baby so bad. So bad. He wanted Aaron to be his. And I remember taking Aaron over there. Aaron's about 3-4 months. And he took Aaron, and Aaron did not want no parts of him. Aaron would look at Aaron, was like, Because I can't think of his name, but I just know he wasn't attractive. It's not like who was the half? Probably Tyrone. The other ones was full-fledged, active. Hassan had no kids. His mama didn't want him to have no kids because he wanted him to go to an HBCU. But if I had to guess on it, Hassan, the baby, my daughter looked exotic. Okay, so it was either my baby daddy, who her daddy is, or Hassan, right? But I had 3.5 men. Some of the men I knew, I was like, by the dates I met you, bro. I was definitely out my first trimester when I met you. Right? I was definitely on my first trimester, bro. Like, she was born in September. I met you in April. I was good and pregnant when I met you. Why are you at this point trying to claim a baby that I already had? I was already with child when I met you, Jesus. I tried to do that test. She said, I don't know these people, Lord. Good day, good luck on your journey. I actually had 2 of the guys take me downtown and try to force me for a DNA. When I told them, according to my calculations, this ain't your damn baby. Well, my baby daddy at the same time was just like, I know that's my daughter, Misty, chill out. I said, sir, I don't know. I said, it's really up in the air. You always told me if you went off to do some time, as long as I didn't deal with nobody who knew you, we will be fine. I said, and you don't know none of these guys. You don't know none of these gentlemen. Huh? You said, well, Richard surprised me for Valentine's Day. Yeah, by calling somebody else. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on with what I was saying. Huh? Okay. So, Hassan. So, I was trying to let me tell y'all what I did with Tyrone. Now, Tyrone knew I was pregnant when he left to go out to Vegas. Now, one thing I didn't do is I could have told Tyrone when I had the baby. I didn't tell him nothing. So clearly I didn't lie to Tyrone. I just didn't divulge that I had the baby. I knew the baby wasn't his, but I never told him that. So Tyrone ended up, so he the father of all 4. Who? No, my baby daddy. No. So my third one, my third one got a bonus dad. So listen, y'all, I already had a baby. Let me get y'all up to speed on my life. I already had a son at 17. His daddy went to jail. His daddy went to jail when he was like 3 months old. Me and his father did a little rat-ta-ta before he got locked up. I had got pregnant with that Ratchet. When his daddy started going to court and I knew he was going to get locked up. When he talking about taking a plea deal, I started dating again. Okay? I was 18. Okay? I was hot. I started dating again when I knew his daddy was going to jail. But I was already pregnant. What I didn't know, I was already pregnant. So I had started dating two dudes that worked at the same store. Well, the ugly dude, it was Tyrone and the ugly dude. Now, the ugly dude ended up going to the store across the street. And Tyrone ended up getting fired. Then I started dating a third dude that I had met at the mall. Okay? Now, you can count my baby daddy in there. I call Tyrone a half, but you know my baby daddy is in there. So if we're on 4, it was like 3.5. Because Tyrone was full of it. Okay? So when my daughter was born, my third baby got a bonus dad. My third daughter's in, mama got a bonus dad. That's why she don't look like none of us. Okay? Be patient. So what I was saying is with my daughter, I'm just trying to tell y'all, I was really telling y'all about the worst Valentine's Day I ever had, but I had to break this down. So anyway, I was a busy bee around Valentine's Day. I was already pregnant during Christmas break, but I didn't know around Valentine's Day that I was pregnant. And I had set up a couple dates around Valentine's Day. Okay? But what I was saying is Tyrone had been with the woman. I had walked to his house in the still of the night on Valentine's Day to only find out that he was with somebody else. So Tyrone ended up moving in with this woman. I had nothing else I wanted to say to him. I found out I was pregnant. I told him Zed is just fine. Thank you for asking. I found out that I was pregnant. I told him I was pregnant. And he moved to Vegas with the woman. However, I never told him that the baby wasn't his. You need an organizational chart. I'm gonna make y'all one. I'm gonna get a whiteboard, like old girl be getting a whiteboard. I'm gonna explain it. Okay? Listen, I let him go to Vegas assuming that this was his baby. Now, here's the deal. I don't owe you no explanation because you never offered to do nothing for me. He will come into town every so often because he had other kids back in Ohio. So he had went to Vegas and became a chef, a top chef. I don't know, Jesus. But he had went to Vegas and started a life with this woman. And then he will come back and forth into town every so often. So as the years went on, I'm going to go back to Hassan. But listen, with Tyrone, as the years went on, he would come in for the holidays. And somehow, some way, he would contact me, whether it was Facebook or somebody who know me. He would always contact me and ask about Aaron. Again, I did not know. Not I need to go get the pastor some fresh water and soft peppermint. I can't take it. Listen, again, he never asked me what she hit. Here's the deal. You didn't tell me about that woman you were sleeping with. So why I got to tell you about this baby that ain't yours? Huh? She don't look like you. So he used to come into town and buy Christmas presents. And I would take my kids over there. Okay? Wherever he was at his mama house, I would go over there and collect whatever presents he had for Aaron. You see what I'm saying? Since we withholding secrets, you didn't tell me certain things, I ain't gonna tell you certain things. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. I have changed. This charade went on. This charade of him coming in and out of town and buying my daughter stuff went on. Y'all ready? Y'all gonna be mad at me. Y'all ready? This went on for 20 years. This went on for 20 years. Huh? He done left the woman, Nikki. He done moved back to Ohio. Wait, y'all, this is more than 20 years. She was born in 1998. This went on for 21 years. Okay? This went on for 21 years. Listen, I didn't ask no questions. What am I giving up information for? You didn't she said, yikes. This went on for 21 years. Yeah. This went on for 21 years. Now, we done got paternity tests and everything. Everybody except him. He never asked me for a paternity test. I think he felt guilty about what happened. Even though my daughter looked nothing like his other kids, my daughter didn't look like him. Okay, my daughter looks like me, but my daughter didn't look like didn't look like him, didn't like his other kids. You know what I'm saying? Come on, she said 1 year for all the miles you walked. Okay. Don't ask, don't tell. This fool said, don't ask, don't tell. I can't stand you. Yeah, that was so 4 years. Shut up, y'all. So listen, my daughter had got into the habit of it. Because he would sporadically pop in and out of her life all the way, always around the holidays. So she just wouldn't say nothing. He would call her and try to talk to her and ask her how she was doing. She never called him dad. And then I moved back to Cleveland, and I found out that he was living back in Cleveland in 2017. He was actually managing a restaurant that was up the street from our apartments. He actually lived really close to our apartments. I did not know he was back in Cleveland till I went to not Justice for Misty, till I went to this restaurant with my kids. And I walked in, and I was ordering my food. And somehow he came, what's up, Kimberly? Somehow Tyrone came out the back and saw me sitting there with Aaron. Because we hadn't talked in some years, right? And when he saw me sitting out there with Aaron, this man came out from the back of the kitchen and started crying crocodile tears. He said, I had no idea my daughter. He introduced her as his daughter to everybody in the place. Now, mind you, I had my other kids with me. So my other kids is sitting there like, what? And I'm like, shut up. Our food gonna be free. So they went along with it. My daughter was like, Mom, this feels so weird. Now, mind you, she didn't have a car. Her car was messing up or something at the time. So he's like, baby, how are you doing? Oh my gosh. She said, I'm good. I'm in college, And I was like, yeah, her car in the shop. And he said, oh, daddy, baby, car in the shop. Let me go ahead and pay for, how much is it? I said, $676. Real quick. He said, no problem. He said, I'm going to go to the ATM and I'm going to get you the money. I'm so happy to see you. He brought her the $676 for her car. My daughter at first told me when she left, she said, Mom, this is so wrong. She said, Mama, this is so wrong. She said, this man thinks I'm his child. This went on for too long. She said, this is crazy. She said, what are you going to tell him? I said, at this point, you over the age of 18. I'm out of it. Okay? I said, are you going to take that $676? She said, Mom, he's not going to come back with that money. I said, yes, he is. He came back with $676. My daughter looked at him. She said, Daddy, Daddy. All of our food was free that day. He actually, listen, he told me anytime I wanted to come up there and eat, that he was there, all my food would be free. I would go up there for karaoke. Get somebody else to tell him. I would go up there for karaoke. The barmaids knew me as his daughter's mother. And I would get free drinks. Y'all listen. You say, let me go and get some fans, huh? Y'all ain't nobody wild. Listen, she said, Daddy. Listen. It came to the point where my daughter said, Mom, I can't do this no more. This is wrong. She said, I have a daddy that I love a lot. Look, it's freezing up on me. Hold on, y'all. It froze up on me because it's freezing. I'm back, y'all. She said, I can't continue to go on with this charade or whatever. I said, I'm out of it. You 18. Get somebody else to do it. Now, I'm going to say this to say that. Y'all, I'm back. It has froze up because I'm being messy. They said, I'm too messy. Do you have water in the church? I do. Let me get some water. Let me get some water of it. I said, I was out of it. So she ended up blocking him. She ended up blocking him on all her phone and social media. But by this time, I was back dealing with him. Because he felt he wanted to give me money. He wanted to pay me back for everything I had done. So I was back dealing with him part-time. She had blocked him. He called me. He said, what is going on? Why is Aaron blocking me? He said, I can't get through to her. I said, she's going through something. She's going through something. But please don't let that affect our relationship. By this time, listen, by this time, y'all, my youngest daughter, who he know wasn't his. Now, he know doggone well my youngest daughter wasn't his. But by this time, me and my youngest daughter was going up to the restaurant without my oldest daughter, because she was back in school. So what makes sense? She was back in college. I told him that she had anger issues, and that's why she had blocked him. And we was going back up to the restaurant and getting free food. And we used to go to his apartment, and he would make food for me and my youngest daughter. He would cook for us. And yeah, I was actually at one point in time, I was actually the supervisor of what answer? The answer for what answer for Monique? Hold on, friend. Let me look at it. At one point in time, I was a supervisor of one of his real baby mamas because he had went out and made some young kids somewhere with somebody else. That was under my concern. And I remember I was at work and this lady walked up to me and she said, "I need to talk to you." I said, "What's up?" And she was like, she had just came on my team. She was like, "I didn't want to go to management with it. I wanted to see if we could come to some type of conclusion. You know, like we can have peace." I said, "Peace about what?" She said, "You know Tyrone?" I said, "Which Tyrone?" She said, "Tyrone who had worked at XYZ. I said, "Yeah." She said, "That's the father of my youngest two kids." I said, "I'm sorry." She started laughing. She said, "He speaks highly of you and his daughter." She said, "Aaron?" I said, "Yeah." And she said, "I just want to make sure that there would be no type of that you wouldn't do anything retaliation because I'm also his baby mother." And I was like, "Girl, I ain't got nothing against you." Because I want to tell her, "Fool, we not related the way you sent the Cash App question here." I want to tell her, "Girl, we not related the way you think we're related. We not related at all, honey bun." Yeah. So, oh damn, we got Cash Apps. Hold on, let's get to it, y'all. Hold on. Kayla says, "Will my apartment be in Charlotte?" Yes, ma'am. It's actually going to be right outside of Charlotte. It's a little town right outside of Charlotte. I think it's a college there too. Sharonda said, "Do I have a gift and sending love your way?" Sharonda, you do have a gift. You have a prophetic word. You speak prophetic word, and you need to start using it. Monique said, "Do I need to stop smoking to enhance my gifts?" You need to stop burning stuff to enhance your gifts. Period. Rochelle said, "Smoking and anything else." Rochelle said, "How will housing reach out to me about my place?" Housing is going to send a letter. I need you to make sure housing has your correct address. Because whatever address they have, they're gonna send your letter to the wrong address, friend. Sorry about that. I didn't know we had Cash Apps. I think I turned the sound off. My bad. And that's the story of Tyrone. Now I know what y'all all want to know. It's a donation only, but you the answer, the donation you give is the type of answer you're gonna get. Period, point blank. Now I know what everybody is thinking. They said, "Does Tyrone?" Aaron is 24 years old. Aaron is 24 years old. Donation only, friend. Aaron is 24 years old. Does he know? The only way he gonna know if he watched this live, or one of y'all tell him. Did I know about Nikki? Absolutely not. No. I didn't know about Nikki. So therefore, that's just that. Y'all like that story? Okay, yeah, I don't know. Hell, I know y'all like, do he know now? No. Oh God. See, that's why I get every time I act up on here, the thing messed up. Friend, be blessed. All right, y'all. I'm back. It was freezing up a little bit. I'm back. I don't know. That's what happens because I be damn. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. I just play too much. That's all. I'm not crazy. I just play too much. All right, let's check the Cash App, y'all. I told a story. Monique says, "What are my spiritual gifts, please?" Monique, you are able to communicate with people's ancestors. You are able to transmit messages from people's ancestors. So I guess you would call that mediumship. You said you're tired of working. You said you're going to write a book on me. Friend, I got books. Listen, that's a mediumship, but you're able to give them the answers that they seek. You are able to, those people to come and speak through you. Okay? That's your gift. What, yeah, did I tell y'all ever heard the food? Hey, Sequoia, should I tell them the story about the sandwich? Should I tell them the story about the ham and cheese sandwich? Who want to hear the story? Say ham and cheese. If y'all want to hear the story about ham and cheese while we wait to see if Cash Apps come through, say ham and cheese. Ham and cheese. Somebody say ham and cheese. If y'all want to hear the story about ham and cheese. Jaquetta says, "What's going to happen with me in this job?" Jaquetta, you are going to be there. You'll be offered a lead position. You will upgrade to a lead. Somebody's going to come in and lie on you, and you will be let go of. It's going to take about 2.5, 3 years for all that to come into fruition. Shantae said, when can I expect a proposal or marriage from my boyfriend? When you get a new boyfriend. I don't, hey baby, hey Jessica, I don't answer pregnancy questions. Now I am not the right person to be asking about pregnancy questions and paternity. Okay? I am not the right person to be asking about paternity. Did you not hear none of my stories, Jessica? Okay? I was out here ratchet in these streets. I had 4 kids and 6 baby daddies. I'm not the girl you want to ask about paternity, but I don't do fertility or stuff like that about whose baby you pregnant. Now, if the baby was here, then I was, say a little something. But I'm not the girl you want to ask that question to. Okay, so I don't do no pregnancy, no gambling questions. All right. She said I'm a supervisor now, so someone is gonna lie on me. Yes, ma'am. Congratulations. That's the confirmation. I be knowing. She said I'm a supervisor now. I didn't know you was a supervisor. You said what's going on with me at this job? Got to be more careful. Vicky says, when will I date again? Vicky, you can date again. They said we're not diagnosing no cars either tonight. You can date again as soon as next month. You got to get out your own way. Brittany said, for am I spiritually gifted? Is this the same? Brittany, am I spiritually gifted? You are, Brittany. Your gifts actually come from church. Will my boyfriend, baby mom ever move before they graduate? No. We ain't doing no motor, no cars tonight. Okay? Listen, Brittany said, for am I spiritually gifted? Yes, your gift comes from church. Your gift comes from church. Whatever you got going, that gift belongs in church too. All right. Let me tell you about ham and cheese. I'm about to change my glasses for ham and cheese because ham and cheese is a lot. Yes, Jasmine, you'll find a job before you move. We're not doing no spirit motors tonight. I'm going to tell y'all about ham and cheese. Okay? So, in 1999, I was a busy bee. God, listen. Tell me about this car stuff. What car stuff, girl? What are you talking about? Listen, God blocked it. Woo! Listen, the simple fact that I'm here to tell you these stories today, the simple fact that I can tell y'all these stories today, let me know that God keeps me. They say God protect babies and fooling, and y'all know I'm not young. You hear me? Oh yeah, I've been diagnosing cars too. Listen, God has kept me for real. I'm about to have a testimony a mighty long way. Because, baby, somebody should have been. Monique says, how does my future look at my job? Bleak, slim, found another one. Tiffany said, for still do I fail at things I really want to do. Tiffany, you got to get out your own head. You overthink it, Tiffany. Lance said, what's my spirit? Lance, don't send me no money. Tell me what's your spiritual gift. Lance, did not ask you what Lance, your spiritual gift has to do with making other people feel better with your comedic ways. Lance, you are also an entertainer of some sort. Lance, do you sing? Leah says, should I continue giving Rob my time? Yes, continue giving him your time for the next 6 weeks. Shantae said for when I expect a proposal or marriage from my boyfriend. I said when you get another one. Shantae. When you get another one. You can expect a promise or talk of a proposal around September, but when you get another one, okay? That's when you just expect a proposal. All right. Let me say this. Lance has the gift. You told me not to sing. I'm horrible. Well, you got the gift of gab or something dealing with your mouth. That's too much of my business, Lance. I don't know what you're doing. It's something dealing with your mouth, Lance. That's too much of my business. Or is it? What city you in? I tell you, you got it. Okay, you know what? Reel it in, Misty. Reel it in. All right, Jasmine said, what kind of job should I be looking for? Social work, case management. She Trade said, do I have to leave this church to grow my prophetic? Yes, ma'am. You should be under a church. Listen, you should be under a church. You should be under a church leader that's female. Yes. All right, y'all. Y'all stay away from Lance. Lance got a gift, all right. Lance, where you stay? You want a PS5? I can get you a PS3 and 2 games, okay? Don't play with me. Play with somebody else. All right, y'all. Back to earth. Let me get the gavel on myself. Not too much, Coach Misty. Not too much. You say, hey, this new job, is it the same job Mr. John was telling me about? Yes, Shari. Not too much, Coach Misty. All right, y'all. He doing tricks. Come and say, kumakusai. I'm not about to play with Lance. All right, y'all. Let me tell y'all about the ham and cheese story. Lance crazy talking about, bro, I can't take it. Let me tell you about the ham and cheese story. Once upon a time in Cleveland, 1999, I was at the barbershop. And in the barbershop, I saw this chocolate man. He was about 5'10", 5'11". He had convict muscles, penitentiary muscles. Mind you, my baby daddy is still locked up. They won't let me out. Listen, he had penitentiary muscles, convict muscles, okay? He was so chocolate. He was like that dark chocolate, that deep chocolate, that black. They used to make fun when you was in high school and in middle school. But he grew into something. He had these very deep waves. I could tell that this man took care of his waves. And we locked eyes. It was 1999 in the barbershop on 116th, across from John Adams High School in Cleveland. And we locked eyes. And when he got, listen, we looked at each other, but we didn't want to say nothing to each other in the barbershop because you said I sent you funds for 3 questions. Michelle, you have to text me the questions. Hold on, let me get Michelle together. Michelle, when you bought the questions, it tells you in the instructions to text your questions to me. So did you text the questions to Michelle? Because if you didn't text the questions, I don't see them. And if you need the number, Michelle, I'll give it to you. But you got to text the questions to me. Y'all just be doing the questions and then y'all be buying them and then don't text it. And then y'all want to wait till I get on live and be like, Coach Misty, I did this. No, friend, you got to text them to me, Michelle, and I will answer them. Okay. Love you. And if you have texted them, you got to give me up to 48 hours. All right. Be blessed. All right. Okay, friend, well, then that's what it is. I told you you're going to be let go. Listen, let me get to the ham and cheese. So, y'all, when he gets finished with his haircut, so what happened was he was in the chair getting his haircut. I still had a little time to wait. So, as he was getting his haircut, okay, Izzy Monique. So, when he was getting his haircut, I went outside as if I was going to the store, but I really went outside so that I could go ahead and meet him outside and talk to him because we didn't want everybody in our business. So when I got up and left out the barbershop, nobody knew the difference. They thought I was just going outside to go to the store. So I waited until he came out and I was standing like off to the side of the barbershop where nobody could see me. So we exchanged numbers and we started a good old love affair. Now, he didn't have a car. He was working. He cut down trees or something, but he didn't have a car at the time. He also lived about 1.5 miles away from, you know what? He actually lived further than Tyrone did. He lived like 3 blocks up from Tyrone. Don't judge me. It was a lot of action on this strip on 116. So I lived on one end of 116. They lived on the other end. So I would go to his house. There was a bus. I wasn't driving. So there was a bus. The number 50 bus, old school. The 50 bus would pick me up right in front of my grandmother's house and take me right up the street to his house. And I would walk down the street. He lived in a 2-family house. He didn't have no AC. This is back in the day. He had fans and an old broke down window unit. His bed had a dip. What do my tattoos say? Okay, I'll tell you the Fred in a minute. His bed had a dip in the middle. It was like a chalupa. It's like trying to sleep in the middle of a chalupa, y'all. The bed had a dip in the middle. And I used to have to fight. When I would spend the night over there, I used to have a hold on for dear life. Cling on to the side of the bed. Hold on to God's unchanging hand. Because if not, I would fall in the middle with him. And it was too damn hot to be falling in the middle. Now, mind y'all, when I tell y'all these stories, I'm telling y'all these stories when I was 19 years old. This is not a story from last year. Some of y'all life sound like this story, and it just happened 6 months ago. This is when I was 19 years old. I'm 42 now. So I'm holding on to God's unchanging hand, holding on to the side of the bed at night. I probably was strong as hell. The mattress, it don't matter. If we had flipped the mattress over, then we would be sleeping on a tent. That the mattress had a permanent dent. I don't know if it was the box spring or whatever, but the mattress went in like this. It was a V-shaped mattress, okay? That's probably why his muscles were so big. You hear me? Listen. So one day I was over there. I said, when he got ready to go to work, he said, I don't want you to leave. I want you here when I come home. And my stupid tail was like, okay. You want me here when you come home. You know, I'm feeling like a housewife, right? Girl, I'm 42 years old. I'll be 43 this year. I'm somebody's grandmother. 2 people's grandmother. So listen, I'm holding on to listen. He said, I want you here when I get home. I said, oh, okay. So he got up that morning, left me in a little V-shaped bed, and he went to work. I got up, and we talked. He had called me during his break or whatever, and I said, hey, I'm hungry. What am I supposed to eat? Now, this is 1999. 1999. Wasn't no Uber, no DoorDash, okay? I couldn't leave out his house because I didn't have a key and I didn't want to leave his house unlocked. There were stores I could have walked to, but I don't want to leave his house unlocked. And he said, listen, he said, I don't, he said, just hold on. I'll be home early. When I come home, we can go get something to eat together. I guess we was walking. Baby, when I tell you I was fit as hell back in the day, body, yada, 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 yada. I did a lot of walking, okay? I did a lot of walking. When my baby daddy went to jail, I started walking, okay? My second child, I only gained 18 pounds the whole pregnancy. I went from 160 to 178. Then I went back down to 165 after I had her. I didn't get to over 200 pounds until I was in my 20s. And food stamps ruined my life. Anyway, let's get back to the story. Okay, boom. So I'm in his house. I opened up the refrigerator. I saw bread, 2 pieces of ham, and 1 piece of cheese. Let me stop right there and answer these cash apps. Let's answer these cash apps. Hold on. Let's go to the cash apps. Hold on. Miss Shiesty, hello, said, are the supervisors holding me back from my promotion? Yes, they are, and one of your coworkers is feeding them information. Kenyatta said, when will my family members move out of my house? When you put them out, and I mean legally. Cam said, when do you see an increase in my finances? Cam is going to happen in September 1st, then September 15th. Then it's going to be every month after that, once a month. But September, you'll see 2 increases on the 1st and the 15th. All right, y'all. Let's go back to the ham and cheese story. So I opened up his refrigerator. The only thing that was in there was Jesus, 2 pieces of ham, a slice of cheese, and some bread. I don't even think it was Miracle Whip in there. I think it might have been mayonnaise, but Hellmann's. And I was hungry, y'all. Did you get your cash app? Monique, I answered all the cash apps. Where the hell is your ass been? Monique, you said, what job or career should I look for? I said, you need to be helping somebody like social worker, case management. So, y'all, I was so hungry, y'all. It was hot in that house. I was hungry. His TV only had 2 channels. So I made me a sandwich. At the moment, listen, I just answered your damn question, Monique. What questions do you have? You need to book a read, Monique. Okay? I did not say that for you. I said that for you, Cracky. Nobody else asked me about a job. Other people asked me if they're going to get fired. Oh, you didn't. Well, you need to help people too, ho. How about that? Okay? Help somebody. That's what you need to do. Help people. You need to find a legal way to do what you do. Help people. Okay? What about the cash app for Ashley? Now, hold on. Wait a damn minute. Hold on, y'all. Oh, I didn't get to Ashley yet. I did. Leah, Ashley said, why didn't my crush ask me to be his Valentine? Because you said, why didn't my crush? The key word is crush. Your crush. You ain't his crush. And some of y'all is 30, 35, 42, 66, talking about why didn't somebody ask me to be their Valentine? You old as hell. Ain't nobody about to ask you to be their Valentine. You want to go get something to eat or not? Y'all need to stop this. They crush. Okay? They crush. No. Y'all up here expecting a crush. Yo, it's your crush. That's the key word. See, anytime I start acting up, my YouTube y'all done made my YouTube glitch out. Y'all ain't crushing on each other. Jesus. Okay, let me go back to it. Alexandria said, should I start dating before my divorce is final? And you need to start doing it. They did doing it. Okay, yes. Jasmine said, what kind of job? You'll be smiling as hell. You'll be smiling happy as hell in court if you just start dating and doing it. And Jasmine, oh wait, no. It says, Jasmine said, what kind of job should I be looking for? Some of y'all ain't supposed to be employed in the regular world. Y'all all be like, what type of job should I be looking for? Some of y'all are ladies of the night. Okay? Some of y'all is ladies of the night. Some of y'all need to go to some of them pole dancing classes and get your skills up. Everybody ain't supposed to be in no damn job. Huh? Okay? Jasmine, I don't see you working no real job. Jasmine, I see you doing something strange for a lot of change. Okay? So start stretching. Okay? Thank you. Yes, you are a lady of the night. Tonight, last night, tomorrow night. Yes. Your money is going to come, listen, your money is going to come from a man taking care of all your needs, Jasmine. So figure it out. Your pole may not be the brass pole. It might be a telephone pole. Okay, whatever way it is, you need to learn how to swing it around. Okay. She Trade said, I already answered that. Do I need to leave this church? Yes, ma'am. You do need to leave that church. You're supposed to be under a woman. You need to start stretching. You're supposed to be under a woman, Pastor. Monique said, we also answered that. Hold on. With my family members. I answered all y'all stuff. Tiffany said, what is my spiritual gift? Working with your hands. I answered y'all questions. Where's these questions coming from? Did I answer everybody's questions? I answered all y'all questions. Friend, get it together. I answered all y'all questions. I ain't no new cash apps come in. Let me start talking. Shan, where was your question, Shan? Shan, are you Miss Shiesty? Who? No, did you cash at me? Or some? Who you cash at? Did you cash at me? I ain't got nobody in here named no damn Noe. I had a Nina. And if you was the first person to cash at me way back at 7:55 an hour ago, you said I need to help people in the 3D until I enhance mediumship. Friend, you need to book a reading, Izzy. All them jars you selling and you ain't got no money to book a reading. All them damn jars you selling and ain't nobody, all them love spells you doing. You're gonna book a reading and come on, book a 10-minute so I can give you this work. Jesus. All right, back to the ham and cheese. I'm about to tell y'all. So boom, y'all, as I'm eating my sandwich with a paper towel, sweating, I'm biting into the ham and cheese. I hear a key. Listen, I hear a key unlocking the door, right? Listen, I hear a key unlocking the door, right? I hear a key unlock the door. It's what's the boy? I forgot the man's name now. Darnell. It's Darnell. He opens up the door. He walks in and he sees me enjoying this sandwich. Darnell loses his stuff. Darnell loses his cool. Darnell said, how could you do this to me? He said, you opened up my refrigerator, so that's all that I had. He said, I was actually saving that for a sandwich. Okay? He said, that was for my lunch tomorrow. Now I have to go to the store and buy me some more lunch meat. And I don't have, he said, they don't sell stuff for my lunch around here. Right? And he said, because I work out in the forest, the woods, cutting down trees, I don't have access to a microwave. So I normally take sandwiches. He said, Misty, how selfish can you be to sit up here and eat the last of the bread and the sandwich that I had? You could have waited. I was going to take you to go get you something hot. He said, matter of fact, I want you out of my house. What? He said, I want you out of my house. Okay. I said, oh my God. So y'all, Alexa, next song. So y'all, I politely get my stuff. And I start walking outside. I still got the sandwich because I'm going to get kicked out for the sandwich. I'm going to enjoy the sandwich. As I'm walking up the street to the bus stop, he starts following behind me, talking crazy to me, talking about how selfish I am. Yes, he starts insulting me over a sandwich. And I said, as long as you stay back there, he was hot, mad, sick with it. I said, as long as you stay back there, it don't even matter, bro. Like, you can say whatever you want to say. At this point, I'm going to eat the sandwich. I done got put out over a sandwich. After I'd have been in here hot all day with nothing but 2 channels, I ain't been watching nothing but infomercials and Madlock, waiting on you to come home in this chalupa bed, and you going to sit up here and get mad about a sandwich, sir? It's not that serious. So, y'all, as I was sitting at the bus stop, he talked crazy at me until the bus came. Okay? And I left. Now, there's a part of the story I forgot to tell y'all. Listen. There's a part of the story I forgot to tell y'all. Is this. Let me say this to say that. During the time that I was with him, I had been introduced to his best friend. Now, his best friend was married. His best friend was married with 2 kids. They had a beautiful home in Shaker. I knew that Darnell looked up to his best friend. Let's call his best friend John. I knew that Darnell looked up to his best friend John, and that's who inspired to be. The reason why I met his best friend is because before, like a couple weeks before that happened, he had called his best friend to come get us, to come get him and take him to the store. And I was at his house, so I rode with him. And when Darnell had got to the store, I said, I didn't feel like going in the store. Hell, it's hot. I was sitting in the front seat of the car. Darnell was sitting, no. I sat in the back seat on that time. I sat in the back seat of the car. Darnell sat in the front. Darnell got out and went to the store. As I was sitting in the back seat of the car, his friend John, who was married with 2 kids, I don't remember John's name. I'm going to tell you why. John, who was married with 2 kids, looked in the rearview mirror. He said to me, he said, what are you doing with him? He's a loser. He said, you are too pretty, too beautiful to be with somebody like that. And I said, well, I was with somebody who was in the streets. I said, I'd rather be with a man who goes to work and rides the bus than be with a man who sells drugs and I don't know if you're coming home at night because something happened to you. Hell yeah, I finished that sandwich. And so the best friend has said to me, he said, you know what? He said, I know I could treat you so much better. He said, I want you to take my number down. He wrote his number down on a card. Okay. He said, I want you to take my number down. When you're ready to do better, you give me a call. I was a little awkward for me. I'm like, this is your best friend. Like, how are you trying to get on with me with your best friend? But I took the number anyway. Why? Because I'm Misty D. Scott. So I took the damn number. So mind y'all, let's fast forward about 3 weeks. I'm getting put out about a sandwich. So y'all, I had took that card and I went home and put it on my dresser, never to think about it again. Until I got home. Y'all, I got home. Darnell was blowing my phone up. Even when I got home, my grandmother was all like, oh, that man Darnell been calling here. What's going on? He keep calling back to back. I said, Grandma, he put me out about a sandwich. She said, a sandwich? I said, a sandwich. Me and my grandmother started laughing. So I had answered the phone. I said, Darnell, stop calling here. You said, where was the wife? Hold on, Mary. Damn, let me get to the thing. The wife went in the car with us, okay? So Darnell was not married, Mary. Darnell was not married. I don't know if you're just not coming on the story. Darnell was not married. His best friend, John, was. So, you know, Darnell was calling me, harassing me. He still wanted to talk crap, right? About the doggone sandwich. So I said, Darnell, I had my grandmother get on Darnell. I said, my grandmother said, hey, you're going to stop calling my house. I'm going to call the police. So Darnell stopped. So I went right to my dresser as any player would, and I got that phone number for John. And I called John. I said, well, I don't know if he's going to answer or what. John answered the phone. He was at the dinner table with his wife and kids. I said, hello, John. This is Misty. He almost choked on a carrot. He said, hold on. He said, hold on, Steve. Let me run outside real quick so I can hear you better. So John got up from his dinner table and went outside by his garage. And he said, Misty. He said, you mean Darnell Misty? I said, yes, Darnell's Misty. He said, what's going on? Are you okay? I said, this man then put me out about a sandwich. He said, what? I said, the man put me out of his house about a sandwich. So I told him what happened. He said, you got to be kidding me. But I started laughing about it. And I was like, well, at least I got a sandwich out the deal or whatever. I said, I just thought I would let you know. I thought it was hilarious. He said, you know what? He said, if you was dealing with me, you would never have to worry about a sandwich or anything else. He said, you would never walk or ride the bus, and I would pay for whatever it is that you wanted. John had a little coin. And he said, matter of fact, he said, I know that was traumatic for you. He said, I know that was traumatic for you. He said, I'm about to go and look at the Cash App in a minute. He said, so tomorrow, let me come and pick you up and show you how you're supposed to be treated. Let me go to the Cash App, y'all. Let's see what the Cash App's talking about. So at this point, as y'all know, John is saying he want to come pick me up. All right. LaCandra said, okay, let's look and say what LaCandra's want. Hold on, y'all. LaCandra said, well, I passed nursing school. Yes, friend, you will. I see you going on to become like a nurse practitioner as well. You're going on to become a nurse practitioner. Congratulations. All right, y'all. So listen, the next day, John comes by. John had a cold car. Listen, John had a nice car. John come by the next day. I've been in the car with John. John comes by the next day to pick me up. I had a hair appointment. John said, what are we doing today? I said, and you could just drive me off and I'll catch the bus on. Why? Everything was on 100. My beauty shop was too. And he was just like, no, he said, I ain't gonna drop you off. He said, I'm gonna stay with you. Listen, he said, I'm gonna stay with you all day. So John took me out to a really nice restaurant. I felt like I was underdressed. He took me out to a really nice restaurant. We was hanging out in the area, like people knew who John was, and John did not care. John had a whole wife and kids. So we went out to this nice restaurant, and then we went to the beauty shop. When we was at the beauty shop, my beautician was talking about she was hungry, and I was like, I don't want nobody. Listen, I said, I don't want nobody to work on my head that's hungry. So not only did John give my beautician something to eat, he actually bought food for all of the stylists in the shop. He sat there while I got my hair done. Right there. He didn't leave. He didn't go out in the car. He sat right there and talked to me, talked to everybody until I got my hair done. When I got my hair done, we then went to the movies. Okay. John and I kicked it for weeks, probably over a month. One day we were out kicking it. One day we were out kicking it. John gets a phone call from a familiar voice. Let's see who's on this Cash App. I think I heard the Cash App go off. Hold on, y'all. Let's see if we got a question on Cash App. Jordan says, will my brother win his custody case Thursday? It's going to be 50-50 custody, friend. 50-50 custody. He'll have them the weekend, like the last part of the school week and the weekend, okay? 50-50 custody. So let me go back to it. I'm in the car with John, enjoying the breeze. He had the sunroof up, and you talking about, wait, finish the story. And I got to answer these people's questions. And while we're in the car riding around having a good time, we had got ice cream. There's a familiar phone. There's a familiar voice on the other side of the phone. It's Darnell. Darnell calls him. Now, John had been avoiding Darnell for weeks, right? Because we were hanging out. Darnell calls John and says, hey, bro, I didn't know who else to call, but I need to go to the grocery store, right? He still ain't got no car. Darnell said, I can pick you up, but I got somebody in the car. John told Darnell, I can pick you up, but I got somebody in the car. Darnell said, man, I don't care about that. I just need a ride. So I looked at John. Now, I didn't live too far from Darnell, probably a 5-minute drive. And I said, you could just pick me up. Like, you can just pick me up and come back in. You could take me home and pick me up later, right? We ain't got to do that. And he was like, nah. He said, this is my car. He said, it's my car and you my girl. So off we went. We rode to Darnell's house. As we pull up, I'm sitting in the passenger seat. Now, remember the last time I was in the car with Darnell and John, Darnell sat in the front and had me sit in the back. This time I'm in the passenger seat. Darnell was waiting outside. Darnell, I ain't gonna lie, sandwich or not, Darnell was looking real good. Darnell had just got off of work. You could tell he just got off of work, probably hadn't even took a shower yet. Darnell walks to the car, and as he walks to the car, his eyes get bigger and bigger and bigger. And he looks, and there's a state of confusion on his face. And John exits the car, and John goes and stands in front of my door, the passenger side door between me and Darnell. And Darnell says, bro, like, where did you see Misty at? And why is she in the car? He said, did you pick her up from somewhere? He said, yeah, I picked her up from her house. Darnell said, her house? So, like, did you see her at a bus stop or something? Like, what was you doing on her street? He said, I picked her up for our date. So Darnell stepped back. And John said, do you need to go to the grocery store or not? And you know what I'm thinking? Hell, I guess we got to go get that ham and cheese, right? So Darnell gets in the car and he sits in the back. And you can feel the radiation. You can feel the heat coming off of Darnell. You can feel the heat coming off Darnell. And I'm sitting there. John turns the music back on, have their sunroof open, and we ride to the store. We get to the store. Darnell gets out and goes into the thing. Y'all, when I tell you, I thought my heart was going to drop. I was holding my breath the entire time in that car. Because even though John was a man that had more stature than Darnell, I knew damn well Darnell could beat up John any day of the week. Right? So poor Darnell. Did she just say poor Darnell? Let me get a drink of water. Not poor Darnell. Hold on. Poor Darnell. Girl, bye. So Darnell gets his groceries and he come out. He puts them in the trunk. He gets back in the car. By this time, me and John have had a couple conversations, and John was like, John said, you don't have to feel no type of way about him, and he ain't gonna do nothing. It's my car, you my girl. Darnell gets in the car. We drive Darnell home. We drive Darnell home. Darnell gets to the house. He asks John if he could talk to him inside the house for a minute. Right? John said, whatever you got to say to me, you're going to say it outside. You can say it in front of her. Of course, Darnell had an issue with me and John being together. Now, what I did not tell y'all is that up until this time, let me put my glasses on. Matter of fact, let me put my other glasses on. Up until this time, you guys, I had managed not to do anything physical with Darnell. I had managed not to do nothing physical with Darnell. Every time Darnell wanted to do a ra-ta-ta-ta, baby, I would bop, 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 bop. I got to go home. Right? But I knew today would be different. Darnell, John told Darnell about himself. They talked about the doggone situation, about the sandwich situation. It wasn't really a conversation. John just told Darnell about himself. John told Darnell that he let a good one go. It was his loss. His loss was John's gain. And when John got back in that car from defending my honor about a ham and cheese sandwich, I knew I was gonna have to get busy. So of course, me and John headed to the you know where, and it was you know what, whack. It was whack, and I ain't gonna lie. The whole time I was with John, I wish I was with Darnell. Okay. So as he brought me back home that night, he was really into it. He was really like, oh, I can't wait to, we gonna hang out again tomorrow. We're gonna do all this, that, and the other. And I knew I had to let John go. I let John down the next day. I said, John, this is too weird for me and I can't do it. I couldn't do it. It was too whack for me. It was too whack for my spirit. Y'all, when I tell you I never saw Darnell again, that was in 1999. Darnell was never to be seen again. Darnell, listen, I went to the barbershop. Like maybe like a month or two after I stopped dealing with John. Then they asked me, they said, what did you do with Darnell? They said Darnell in his chalupa head. They said, what did you do with Darnell? They said, what happened to Darnell? Darnell don't even come get haircuts no more. They said, we know he ain't got another barber because he ain't got no car. That's the only barbershop within walking distance. I said, well, I guess Darnell is growing out of afro. End of story. Okay? Y'all don't have to get off of here. Y'all don't want nothing. Let me see. All right, let's go ahead and do this. Shaquana says, should I continue to cook and would it be successful? Yes, Shaquana, you should continue to cook and just soul food. You also need to add 2 desserts to the menu. Ruby said, am I in my forever relationship? Ruby, how old are you? Ruby, forever ain't that long. So yes, it is. Yes, you are in forever relationship because forever ain't that damn long. Okay. Listen, Ruby said, am I in my friend? I got you, friend. Am I in my forever? Yeah, because forever ain't that long. Hell, absolutely. Oh my God. I feel like I gave y'all such good stories tonight. Good stories. And I want to thank you. No, I'm not going to do your damn appointment tonight, girl. So can you do my appointment tonight? It's only 10 minutes. You say I got a phone call and missed the end of the sandwich story. Friend, you're going to have to watch it again on Facebook or on YouTube. How will my nephew mom be all right? Yes, these are great stories. Great stories, y'all. Yes. I was talking to Sequoia today and she said I need to have a mini series. Now, I don't know if y'all know that I do write books. Did y'all know that? Now, these stories are not even in my book. No, you wasn't joking. I hate when y'all say stuff that y'all really want to say. And they're like, I was joking. Lies you tell from the pits of hell. I don't know if y'all know. I actually write books. These books are on Amazon. I actually write books about my dating life, my dating stories. The stories that I told y'all, yes. If y'all go to my link tree, and go to my books are in my link tree. I actually write books. They're on Amazon. My books are in my, can y'all hear more? All right. Girl, good morning. Just go to my link tree and click the link in my link tree for my books. It'll say book 1 and book 2. So y'all want to hear one more? Hold on. I might read y'all one from my book. How many of y'all done heard the story about the 2 brothers? Yes, I'm gonna do the 3rd book, y'all. How many of y'all done heard this? Hell, some of the 3rd book I had to finish out. How many of y'all didn't? Yeah, these is real life stories. Everything I tell y'all, it happened to me. How many of y'all done heard the stories about the 2 brothers? How many people they talking about? Is this real life? Absolutely. How many people want to hear the story about two brothers? Put the number 2. I know you have, Tasha. Lyndon and Tasha, y'all been rocking with me. If you want to hear the story about the two brothers, it's called Two of a Kind. Put the number 2. Put the number 2 in the comments. They said read it again, the number 2 in the comments. If y'all, okay, y'all want to hear the number about the two brothers, it's called Two of a Kind. People said they heard it, but a lot of people ain't never heard it before. All right. So remember, go to my link tree and click on the links for book 1 and book 2. You got to scroll down past the stuff for the reading. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. We got to answer some of these questions. Sweetie says, for when will I have my heart surgery? In October. Miss Shiesty said, what is my gift? Shiestiness, deceitful, manipulation. Yeah, you real good at that. Monica said, what is Blake reasoning for talking to me? Blake just missed you and just wanted to talk, so you don't look too much into it. Anita said, can I text the question? Yeah, Anita, text it. All right, y'all, let's get into it. This is from my first book I wrote in 2021 when I had COVID. It's called Two of a Kind. All right. It says, so here's the deal. I'm about to read the story, y'all, and y'all can send cash apps. How was y'all to read this tonight? Tamika, you can send me a question, girl. We need to get you your session done. Listen. Story number 3, Two of a Kind. It's from my first book I wrote in 2021. It says, what do y'all want from the store? I asked my kids. They were always begging for snacks I didn't have. If we had brownies, they wanted fudge rounds. If we had fudge rounds, they wanted brownies. But I didn't mind my kids. They were good kids. And they kept me laughing. So I tried my best to oblige them. I headed out the door and the crisp fall air was refreshing. So I walked past my Suburban and I decided to walk to the store. I grew up in this neighborhood. So walking around allowed me to see my neighbors and take survey of the subtle changes. Plus, I could always use some extra cardio. I hit the store and was able to check everything off my kids' list. As I headed back home, I felt a car creeping behind me. I didn't live in the best neighborhood, but I never felt scared, but today was different. Listen, shut up, girl. I shifted my bags to one hand and placed my hand in my coat pocket as if I was holding to a little blink. I was looking at my neighbor's house, trying to figure out who was home in case I had to run up on the porch. I could feel my heart racing and I started sweating in the middle of my back. Out of all of the days I decided not to drive, this happens. As the car inches closer, I decided that someone was going to cause me harm. Then at least I could do was look them in the eye. I stopped and the car stopped. I knew this was it. I dropped the bags of snacks with my mind in complete fight or flight mode. The man rolls down his window, leans over to the passenger side of his car, and he says, hey, Butterball. Butterball? Who the hell is Butterball? He must have the wrong person. First, I resemble a Twinkie or a turkey leg, and the last time I checked, a Butterball was a whole damn turkey. I was relieved that my safety was not at stake, but now I was highly offended. I said, sir, do I know you? Have we met before? He replies, no. But I saw you come out of the store and I waved, but you didn't see me, so I followed you. With that, I said, that sounds creepy. But well, at least I knew where you, he said, I know that sounds creepy, but at least I know where you live now. He said, hold on, that's creepy as hell. I look at him in disbelief. I'm assuming he sees the bewildered look I'm serving and he apologizes and introduces himself. He said, hi, I'm Brian. Now I'm still on the fence about him, but his smile is everything. And I'm not picking up on that crazy vibe from him. So I say, hello, I'm Misty. Brian smiles and offers me a ride home, but we were literally 20 feet away from my house. So I decline and he says, well, I followed you this long, might as well follow you home. As I walked up my driveway, I saw my kids in the window, worried because I had taken longer than usual. They came running outside like banshees, grabbing the bags out of my hands, hugging and thanking me at the same time. I had forgotten that Brian was still in his car when my youngest son said, Mommy, who is that man smiling at us? And I turned around and Brian was stepping out of his car. And I must say, I was highly impressed. Now, y'all can still send me cash apps and I'll answer them in between the story. And then if y'all want questions answered, y'all can send cash apps. It's fine. As the kids ran back in the house, I turned around to see Brian standing there in all of his 6'4" glory. His skin was a rich cocoa brown color, and he had the fullest, curliest beard I had ever seen. His eyes danced when the sun beamed on his face, and his smile was radiant. Okay? I could tell I could tell that Brian was about his paper from his demeanor and his style. Freshly manicured hands paired with a dope ass fit was enough to make me stay outside just a couple minutes longer. He reached his hands out to me and he said, "Can I get a hug?" I walked over to him and allowed this gentle giant to embrace me. My 5'5" frame was nestled tightly in his arms and had fit perfectly on his chest. We must have stayed in that position for at least 2 minutes. His touch felt familiar, although we were strangers. While I'm resting comfortably on his chest, he laughs and says, "I see you like laying on all this playground." I immediately jumped back, realizing I had lost myself in the moment and I didn't want to display my vulnerability too soon. I looked Brian dead in his eyes and asked him a question that I never asked him that I had asked many men before. How can I? You said no, girl. I'm 5'5". He was 6'3". Keep up, redhead Dick Vixen. Brian was 6'3". I'm 5'5". Lord, somebody get her a toothpick. Keep up. Brian leaned his head back and laughed and said, "There are many things you can help me with, but first I would like to get your number so I don't have to stalk you anymore. Gas is high." I said, "Why do you need my number when you have my address?" I'm a player. Brian said, "So I'm welcome over here anytime. When your man," he said, don't want your man to pull up while I'm sitting outside." I said, "That's cute. I'm single, so you don't have to worry about that. The question is, are you single? I'm sure you have a baby mama or girlfriend somewhere." Brian said, "Well, I do have children, but I'm not with their mother, and I've been single for the last 3 months. Anything else you want to know?" I said, "Yeah, why did you follow me home?" Brian said, "Because you are the prettiest butterball I've seen today, and I had to let you know." We both laugh and he hugs me again. The entire time I'm in his arms, I felt safe and loved. I literally lost track of time. We must have stayed outside for at least 10 minutes hugging and talking. I needed this and he needed me. We exchanged numbers. I promised to call him after I put the kids to bed. I walked in the house smiling from ear to ear, thinking to myself that I might just need to walk to the store more often. As I was putting my youngest son in the bed, I hear my phone ring. I run into my room hoping it's Brian, but as I pick up the phone, I hear a familiar voice. It's Justin. Ooh, let me take a drink. It's Justin. Hold on, y'all. All right, I'm back on YouTube. Justin says, "You said is this 1998? No, this story I'm telling y'all is I went just because I was hoeing in 1998. Don't mean no, this was not 1998. This happened in 2000 and this happened in 2007. 2007, this happened. She's talking about this 1998. Don't play with me, so kill. This happened in 2007. Justin say, "Babe, what are you doing?" I said, "Putting the kids to sleep. What's up?" Justin said, "I'm trying to see you tonight." I said, "Girl, you made me choke." I said, "Damn, Justin, you know I need time to find a babysitter. What are you trying to do?" Justin said, "Hit the strip club and blow a couple bands." He said, "I might even throw some money on you tonight." I said, "Okay, Justin, let me call my brother and my uncle and see if one of them will come stay with the kids. What time you want me to meet you at the strip club?" He said, "An hour." I said, "Okay, bet." I called my brother who agreed to babysit and I started getting dressed. Yes, I know y'all, I don't talk about my brother. I got a little brother. I'm 43. My little brother is 32. I got a little brother that's 32. I called my brother who agreed to babysit and I started getting dressed. I love going to the strip club with Justin because I knew I was going to walk out with more money than I came with, and that's never a bad thing. It's my book. My brother arrives right on time. I kiss the kids and I'm out the door. I pull up to the strip club and walk over to Justin in the parking lot. He reaches down to hug me and rub my you know what at the same time. I giggle a little, then we proceed to walk in. Justin tells me to pick a booth while he exchanges his money for singles. I find the best seat in the house. The dancers are waving at me because they know I'm a great tipper. Just as one of the dancers approached my booth, Justin walks up with 10 packs of singles. Tonight is going to be a good night. As I'm taking the band off the first stack of dollars, I put my phone on vibrate. Scared that it might be an issue with my kids, I put the money down and reach for my phone. I look at the screen before I could answer. It says, "Incoming call from who?" Brian. Damn, I had forgotten to call him. He would have to wait. I casually sent Brian to voicemail and resumed my date with Justin. We must have thrown at least $500 when Justin told me to throw the rest of the money in my purse because he wanted a private dance. As I was exiting the booth heading towards the champagne room, Justin grabbed my hand and said, I don't want to dance from them. I want to dance from you. And we walked out of the club. Now, this is my first time going to Justin's home. Justin was in the street life, but he also had a private life. I could always pull up on him in the streets, but I had never knew where he lived until tonight. Now, in all fairness, he didn't know where I lived either for the most part because we were just hanging out. I met Justin in my 9th grade year. I think, y'all, when I wrote this book, I had COVID. So somewhere in the book go from Justin to Jason. I had COVID when I wrote this book. Don't knock me. This book is on my, listen, go to my link tree. This is book number 1. Go to my link tree, y'all. This is book number 1. Good Morning Sunshine is on Amazon. If you go to my link tree and click on book number 1, you can buy my book. So listen, as we enter, so listen, okay, boom, boom, boom. I said, in all fairness, he didn't know where I lived either. For the most part, we were just hanging out. I had met Justin my 9th grade year, but he was a junior and a bad boy, so I kept my distance. My parents took me out of the school the following year, so I didn't run into Justin until last year at the after-hour spot. So no, this story took place in 2008 because I ran into Justin in 2007. We recognized each other instantly and been rocking ever since. With the lifestyle that Justin has, he didn't have time for a girlfriend, and I didn't want to live that type of life, seeing that I had gone through the same thing with my children's father. But if I was looking for an all expenses paid good time, then Justin was the man. As we pulled up to his house, I began to feel nervous. I didn't know what to expect. Justin and I had never did anything before. All of our dates would end with a hug and a kiss, and that's it. Wasn't sure what he expected, but I was determined to give it my all. So I see some of y'all back on TikTok. Is it not working on YouTube no more? I see some of y'all jump back on the TikTok. Is YouTube not working no more? Because it's showing like I got 32 people watching me. Well, 30 people watching me on YouTube. So the YouTube stop working real quick? Because if it is, I'll go ahead and end it and just finish this on TikTok. Somebody give me a yes or no, maybe so. Or somebody needs to put a message. Okay, hold on. They said it's working. Okay, I was about to shut it down. So as I entered Justin's home, I was surprised by the warm feeling I experienced. There were family pictures everywhere. His son's toys were still in the living room. I knew he had invited me into his safe space, and I was honored. Justin saw me looking at the family pictures, and he came over to explain whom everyone was. I saw his mother, his sisters, nieces, nephews, and his kids. I felt as if Justin was opening up to me, and I liked it, but soon that warm and fuzzy feeling was gone when he grabbed my hand and led me upstairs. Justin's room was just as I expected, something straight out of Scarface. His bed had to be the biggest bed I had ever seen, but he was a big guy, standing 6'5", weighing 250 pounds. He had 2 TVs in his room, and in the middle of everything was a bright and shiny you-know-what pole. That was my cue to start the show, but I promised him that this would be the best strip tease and the pair of Nikes that he would ever get. Y'all, the music started, okay? I bent down to tie my shoes, and the money started to fly. I must have danced for 3 songs straight. Now, I'm not the best dancer, and I can't climb a pole, but we had fun. At some point in my routine, I decided to give Justin a you-know-what dance, and that's when things started heating up. As I sat on his lap, he pulled me close and fell back onto the bed. Justin flipped me over, and we did a lot. Now, some of these, I got to kind of edit some of this because we on TikTok, and they be acting funny. But it started popping off for me and Justin, right? We did what we did on a bed full of singles. I did what I did with a bed of hundreds of ones. Once we were finished, I got up and let him peel the dollars off of me. I went into the restroom to clean up, and when I came out, Justin had gathered all of the money into a huge pile. I figured he was ready to go since he had put his stuff back on and was headed, so I headed down the steps. Justin called my name. He said, "Misty, you forgot something in my room." I walked back towards his door while checking myself to ensure I had all my personal belongings. Justin watched me in amusement and told me to come up and get my tip. $516 to be exact. The ride back to the club to pick up my car was different. I saw a softer side of Justin, and I liked it. I didn't want to assume that Justin viewed our friendship any indifferently, but I could sense the difference in the way he handled me. I didn't want to get too excited, but I liked the way he made me feel. I decided to go with the flow. Once we arrived back in my car, Justin kissed me on my lips and opened up the car door. I promised to call him as soon as I walked in the house. On the way home, I laughed to myself and thought about what a day. I had a bomb date with Justin. I had just met Brian. Damn, what about Brian? I was supposed to call him, but it's 2:43 a.m. Maybe I'll text him if he's up. He'll answer. I'll act like I fell asleep early and it's worth a try. As I walk in my home, I see my brother knocked out on the couch. I cover him up and check on the kids. The kids' rooms was a mess, but I was concerned with that tonight. I called Justin when he picked up the phone. I called Justin, and when he picked up the phone, I heard a lot of commotion in the background. So I knew he was at the after hour spot. I let him know that I was home, and he promised to call me later once he had came back out. I jumped in the shower and slipped into bed. Now it was after 3 a.m. I know doggone well it's too late to text Brian, but I do it anyway. I sent Brian a text. I said, hey, it's Misty. I fell asleep early. I'm so sorry. Call me when you wake up. And to my surprise, my phone vibrates and Brian says, hey, I'm up. And I said, hey. I was so excited that Brian was texting me back at 3 a.m. I asked him about his day and what he likes to do. After a couple text messages, he decides to call me and we talk until the sun come up. Before we hung up, Brian asked if he could stop by later and I happily obliged. The next day, Sunday, I woke up around 11 a.m. My brother had awoken the kid, had woke up and the kids, my brother and the kids had woke up and made them clean up so I wouldn't blow a gasket. Little did my kids know and my brother know that I was on cloud nine. I handed my brother $100 for watching the kids, which was a far cry from the normal 30. Once my brother realized that I had paid him in all singles, he laughed and said he didn't want to know anything else. Around 2 p.m., Brian called and asked if he could come over. He also wanted to know if my kids were home, which is not an uncommon question. I replied yes. The kids were outside playing, so we had some time to chill. Around 30 minutes later, Brian pulled up. I unlocked the door and was waiting on the couch. To my surprise, Brian walks in behind my kids carrying grocery bags. I was confused, but the kids were smiling from ear to ear. I said, Brian, what is all of this? Brian smiled and gave the bags to the kids and simply said, snacks. Brian had literally gone grocery shopping for my kids. I was amazed that he would show this level of kindness so early in the game. After my kids put the groceries away, Brian reached in his pocket and pulled out 4 crisp $5 bills and handed them to my kids. My kids were ecstatic. They ran out the door and promised to give us some space. I heard my oldest daughter tell the other kids that she liked this one and hoped that he was my main boyfriend. Brian and I laughed, but secretly I was hoping the same thing. Do we got any cash apps? Hold on. Any questions about what I read so far? Let me see if we got anything in the cash app. I don't want to keep nobody waiting. Say, can I tell you about my son? I had to put him out. Yeah, Tamika, you can, but Tamika, I'm gonna call you when I get off of here. Yeah, Anita, that's gonna be just fine. Yep. All right. Okay. So the kids kept their word and stayed outside for 2 hours while Brian and I sat on the couch and watched a movie while getting to know each other. The whole time I wanted to jump on Brian and kiss him, but I didn't know when my kids would come back, so I had to keep my composure. I could tell that Brian wanted to touch as well, but he was respectful. Just as my kids were coming in, I received a call from my grandmother asking if the kids wanted to walk down to her house and spend the night. I live down the street from my grandmother. Hold on, y'all. Let me refresh my Facebook. I got the outline for the third book. I just got to write on it. All right. So my grandmother didn't call now, but I lived down the street from my grandmother. My grandmother said, do the kids want to come spend the night? And I'm like, heck yeah. So I agreed to let the kids go and even let them take the groceries that Brian had brought. Brian offered to drive them down the street, but my grandmother had already started walking towards my house, and the kids loved walking with my grandmother. Life was good. Within 15 minutes, the house was clear, and Brian and I moved our conversation to my room. We sat on the edge of the bed in silence, unsure what was going to happen next. So I lowered my head to avoid looking in his eyes. I hadn't felt this vulnerable since I was a teenager. Brian slowly reached over and touched my hand before I could make a move. He had kissed me. It was a soft and subtle kiss at first, but then he laid me back and it got to rocking. Now, I did just paraphrase that. His mouth tasted of peppermint and mouthwash. His neck smelled of Burberry men's cologne. And the rest of this, y'all gonna have to get the book. I said, I felt like a delicate flower in his arms. Okay. I'm gonna say this. A lot of ratatata started happening with me and Brian. Okay. So y'all listen, y'all gonna have to get the book to read that part because I ain't about to get put out of TikTok for going. I didn't read this story before on TikTok, and then they'll cut my live off quick. Oh yeah, This y'all gonna have to read this. Okay, so after an amazing experience, baby, I had to skip some parts. After amazing experience, we lay next to each other in silence. I was confused as to what to do next. I assumed Brian enjoyed himself, but he hadn't said a word. In order to break the awkward silence, I raised up to go to the bathroom to retrieve washcloths for Brian and I when he grabbed my arm and pulled me close, placing my head on his chest. He told me not to move because we were not finished yet. I'm not sure what time Brian and I fell asleep, but the sunlight woke me up and I jumped up once I realized we had slept the night away. I was hoping that Brian would not be upset since we fell asleep, but I admit that I watched him sleep for 5 minutes before I woke the sleeping giant. I had prepared myself for Brian to leave abruptly, but I was pleasantly surprised when I woke him up and he smiled and said, "Good morning, Butterball. Let's get some breakfast." Luckily, my kids were spending the day at my grandmother's house, so I was free for the most part of the day. We washed our face and brushed our teeth. Thank God I keep new toothbrushes at my house. That's a player move. And rolled to my breakfast place to pick up our to-go order and spent the remainder of our morning cuddled up on the couch. Brian left around 2 p.m. and I ran and jumped into bed. I was super tired. Plus, I wanted to smell his cologne on my sheets. The butterflies in my stomach were alive and well. I think I'm in love. Over the next couple of weeks, I hung out with Justin and Brian. Justin and I would meet up for more exclusive dates, such as dinner and movies. But plus, I noticed that Justin was displaying a higher than normal level of affection, but I didn't overact due to the fact that Justin stated he wasn't ready for a relationship. Brian had become a semi-permanent fixture in my home. The kids loved him, and I loved the way he included the kids in our quality time while chilling at my house. Brian had also started to develop his own relationship with my oldest son based on their mutual love of video games. I could tell that Brian was a great dad and actively involved with his children. I was attracted more to Brian's character than his looks. Brian had truly run me over. Now, Brian was fine. Brian was fine. Brian was better looking than Justin. I knew Brian was open to a relationship, but he was very cautious due to his last breakup. I wanted to ask Brian so bad what direction we were moving in. However, I believe that you shouldn't have to ask a man about his feelings for you because a real man will make his intentions known. Plus, I was still dealing with Justin, so I wasn't 100% free myself. I had a good thing going, weekdays with Brian and weekends with Justin, and Sunday was family day with the kids. I was living the high life, but everything must come to an end. Labor Day. Labor Day is one of my favorite holidays because the weather is not too hot and not too cold. My kids always hang out with their father's side of the family so I can get a break. I hate family gatherings and friendly cookouts, so I'm accustomed to eating regular food and waiting on my kids to bring me a to-go plate when they come home the next day. And as a bonus, as a bonus, Law and Order Marathon are on several cable channels starting at 7 a.m. This is the life. Okay? All right, friend. You know this is my book. Hey, Mary David Ruffin. You know I'm reading from my book, but okay. But you can send me a copy of yours too. I didn't have expectations of the men I'm dating during the holidays if we were not in a relationship. I don't stress invites because I'm not into meeting the guy's family, so I send out the traditional good morning, happy Labor Day text and turn my attention to my Serial and Law and Order Marathon. Life is good. As expected, I received text messages from Justin and Brian, both asking me if I was with my family at a cookout, and I simply replied, no. I had fell asleep around noon only to be awakened by a phone call. It was Justin. Justin said, "Hey, love, how are you doing?" I said, "I'm great. Watching TV, in my birthday suit, eating on the couch, eating snacks." I said, "I hear a lot of noise outside. Are you at Luke Easter Park?" He said, "Yes, I'm up here with my family cookout, playing dominoes and smoking on some good." I said, "Ooh, sound like a good time to me. I know it's hella people at the park today. The weather is so nice." He said, "Yup, it got to be about 10 different picnics going on." Okay. He said, "I could barely find a place to park. I ran into some people we went to high school with, and a couple of us are planning on meeting at the bar tonight. You should come hang with us." I said, "I'll think about it. I must see when the kids are coming home." Justin said, "I understand. What are you eating today?" I said, "Cereal." Justin said, "Cereal?" I said, "Yeah, cereal." He said, "I know you want some barbecue and sides." He said, "Who eats cereal on Labor Day?" I said, I eat cereal on Labor Day. I should have a plate tomorrow from my ex's house. The kids never let me down. Justin said, you don't have to wait until tomorrow for a plate. I can bring you one. I said, bring me a plate? That's a new one. You don't even know where I live. I said, I appreciate the offer. Would you like me to meet you somewhere? Justin said, no, I figure it's time I stop by. We have been meeting up for months. Plus, I want to see your spot. I said, okay. Text or call me when you're ready so I can send you the address. Justin said, cool. I'm going to send your pretty face anyway. I said, Justin, I almost miss you too. Now, what is going on, y'all? Justin has never expressed an interest in coming over or told me that he missed me. He must be high as hell and I could use a plate, and I'm not worried about Justin know where I stay because I know he's not the type to pop up without calling. And at this rate, I only see him on Saturdays and late night, which is exactly the time when Brian is home with his kids. So I should be in the clear. Okay? Damn, today is going to be great. I might even get me a little something. An hour after Justin's call, I receive a call from Brian. Brian said, hey, Butterball, what are you doing? I said, on the couch watching TV. He said, oh, yeah, what you watching? I said, my favorite show. I said, matter of fact, our favorite show, Law and Order. Brian said, how many times you going to watch that show? You know there are other TV shows you can watch. I'm starting to think you like iced tea. I said, well, I could use a sweet tea, but I love the storyline, so leave me alone about my show. Brian said, speaking of sweet tea, what are you eating? I said, cereal. Okay. I said, hold on, y'all. Hey, Mary David Ruffin. You said get it right when you're dealing with a real life bloodline Ruffin. Okay, sir. This is story time. This is not promote your book time, okay? Come on now. We're not about to do that. There's a lot of things. Where's my moderators at, bro? Where's my moderators at? We gonna mute you, friend. You can still watch, but we gonna mute you. We're not doing it. Come on, you dealing with a real live Ruffin. Lord, anyway. Sir, back to the story. Okay. I said, I could use a sweet tea, but I love the storyline, so leave me alone. Brian said, speaking of sweet tea, what are you eating? I said, cereal. Brian said, no, Butterball, you need some real food. My mom and aunties cook everything you think you could want. I'm going to bring you a plate, okay? I said, oh, Daddy, that's so nice. You always look out for me. I said, when do you want to come by? Brian said, give me an hour. I said, bet. Brian said, you miss me, Butterball? I said, all the time, sunshine. He said, I'll call you when I'm leaving. I said, cool. All right, so this is easy. Justin needs my address, and he's in the middle of a domino game, and I know Brian isn't going to stay long because his kids are at the park. 2 plates, 2 hugs, and 2 possible, appointments in the same day. Your girl is winning. Nothing can go wrong. Meanwhile, at the park. Let me get some water. Meanwhile, at the park. Hold on, y'all. Let me get some water. Justin said, say, bro, get off the phone. We're here trying to finish the game. Who are you on the phone making love to? Brian said, man, sit your hating self down. You need a girl in your life and maybe you'll stop running the streets. Justin say, fool on you, I might have a girl. Brian said, who? You know doggone well you have a stable of bras. Justin says, actually, I got a little chick across town that I've been chilling with and she's starting to grow on me. Matter of fact, I'm going to fix her a plate and slide through later. Brian said, what? You fixing a chick a plate and talking and taking it to her? She must be a bad one. Where did you meet her? At the dance, at the club, the after hour spot? Justin said, nah, she's a good girl. What about you? You said you were done with dating since you and Sharice broke up. Now you jump up every time your phone rings. What's going on with you? Brian said, you're not the only one with a good girl. Matter of fact, let me fix my bae a plate before your greedy self come to pack up everything. Justin said, do us both a favor and fix 2 plates and hurry up so we can get back to this game. Brian said, I swear if you wasn't my brother. Once the domino game had ended, Brian announced that he was going to run an errand and he would be back in 2 hours or less. The men of the family were not trying to hear that, so Justin volunteered to ride to Brian to ensure a speedy return. Since Brian was dropping off a plate to his girl, Justin decided to drop off a plate to his chick as well. Once in the car, Justin and Brian decided to show off their special ladies. Brian said, man, I can't believe you have someone. I didn't think you would ever settle down. Justin said, no one ever said I was ready to settle down. I just said she was special. Brian said, how does she make you feel? My girl make me feel like I can conquer the world. She provides me peace when my day is rough. She makes me laugh, and that thing is amazing. He said, man, I'm just about over Sharice, and she's a big reason why. Justin said, damn, let me see what she looked like. Run the pic, bro. Brian said, no problem. Let me find a decent picture to show you. Katie showing you all her goods. As he's scrolling through his phone, he says, here goes my butter. Here she go, my little butterball. He hands Justin the phone. Justin said, wait a minute. Let me see that picture, man. Give me the phone. He snatches Brian's phone. He said, what's her name? Brian said, Misty. Why, do you know her? Justin said, yeah, I know this MFR, right? Let me show you something. Scrolling through his phone. Brian says, does this tattoo look familiar? Brian said, bro, get the you-know-what out of here. He said, where did you get this picture from, Justin? How do you know Misty? Justin said, she's the chick I've been with, and this is her plate. An awkward silence fell in the car. At this moment, the brothers realized they had been dating the same female, me. Justin bust out laughing and thanking God that the friendship didn't go any further, but Brian was silent. Without uttering a word, Brian starts his car and heads in the direction of my house. Justin decides not to question his brother as if he needs time to blow off some steam. But once Justin realized that Brian had entered a residential neighborhood, he realizes that Justin wasn't just driving around. He realized, Justin realized that Brian wasn't just driving around. He was driving to Misty house. Justin said, bro, where are you going? Brian said, you know where I'm going. Justin said, so we are just going to pop up over there? That's crazy. Man, just let this go. She couldn't have known. Brian said, all the time I spend with her and her kids, spending the night, spending my money, and she laid up with you when I'm not around. She got me messed up. We going over there. Justin said, promise me you're not going to clown over there. I have warrants, and I'm not going to jail over a piece of you-know-what. He said, you better believe that. You need to get out your feelings for real. Why are we stopping? Brian said, this is her house. Justin said, now what? And Brian said, this is the plan. Now, it's been an hour since Brian has said he would bring me a plate. I should probably call him to see if he had left yet. I'm glad Justin hasn't called me back because I really need him to come over later. Just as I'm picking up my phone to call Brian, I hear a knock on my door. Damn, Brian is right on time. I open the door in my birthday suit with a bowl of Captain Crunch in my hand. As I'm looking for the place to sit my cereal down to hug Brian, I hear a familiar voice, and I realize that's not Brian, but it is Justin standing at my door. Alexa, stop. I said, Justin, how did you find my house? I didn't send the address yet. Justin said, I remember you saying that you lived on 119th and Miles, and the kids down the street pointed me to this house. I said, so you just took a chance and drove over here without calling? He said, yes, boo. I had a couple customers in the area, and I decided to kill two birds with one stone. Can I come in, or are we going to continue this interrogation in the doorway? You know you ain't got no clothes on, right? I said, my bad, come in. Justin started laughing, said, you worse than the police. As Justin walks in, I attempt to close the door, but there's someone pushing on my door. I jump back and my heart dropped. It's Brian. I took 4 steps back into my living room, damn near tripping over my couch. I couldn't believe what was happening. Justin and Brian were in my living room. Once I picked my mouth off the floor, I managed to sit down on the couch, and all I could do was grab my cereal and stare at the TV. I was so ashamed, and did not to mention I still didn't have nothing on. Brian said, so you doing my brother? I said, you're who? He said, B, you hear me? My brother. Justin said, B, chill. There's no need to call her out her name. That's not why we're here. You said you wanted answers with no drama, so ask her what you need to know, and then we're out. Brian said, did you lay down with him? I said, you know I did. Why are you asking me and you already know the answer? Obviously, y'all compared notes, so I'm unsure of what you want from me. Brian said, I feel dumb as you know what. I'm telling my people about this good girl I'm with and how good you make me feel, and you're playing me the whole time. You're worse than my baby mama. I could have stayed with her. At least I could still be a family. You ain't, you know what, Misty? Justin says, now, Misty, did you know we were brothers? I said, no, I had no idea. You don't look alike. You don't have the same last name, and you never talk about each other, so how was I supposed to know? Brian said, it doesn't matter that you didn't know. Why are you messing with 2 dudes at the same time? What type of whole stuff is that? I bet you were, getting down with him without no protection. So Justin said, no, bro, I strap up every time. I said, I would never jeopardize your health, Brian. I use protection with everybody else. Brian said, everybody else? How many things you getting down with? He said, damn, how many other dudes are you going to show up at the door with a plate? I said, I didn't mean it like that. You and Justin were the only 2 people I was dealing with. Brian said, was is the key word because I'm done with you. You can't call me for nothing. Justin said, Misty, you must see how messed up this is, but I don't believe that you knew Brian was my brother. We've been cool since high school, and I don't want to fall out with you, but you know we can't hang out anymore, right? I said, I understand. Justin says, B, let's bounce. As I stood up to escort Brian and Justin out of my home, Brian turns around in a fit of rage and grabs me by the arm, pushing me towards my bedroom door. I was petrified. I looked at Brian with tears in my eyes and asked me what else he was doing. He said, well, since you like dealing with both of us, you're going to do it right now. You down, right? Me and my brother right now. You already ready. And I know that things stay ready. Now, I'm kind of improvising with these words, okay? I said, Brian, please let me go. I'm sorry. I never meant to hurt you. Justin said, B, you tripping. I'm not going to jail over this. As I looked into Brian's eyes, I saw that he was in a dark place. I had never seen that side of Brian. I was scared and crying, but none of that mattered. Brian was too far gone. Brian pushes me down and starts to undress. I'm on my bed trying to outmaneuver him, and he grabs my ankles. Okay, y'all gonna have to read this for yourself, right? Just as Brian was about to engage, Justin busts in the room and pulls Brian away and puts himself between the doorway and Brian. He said, bro, have you lost your mind? Brian said, no, get out the way. This is what she wanted, so I'm gonna give it to her. Justin said, do you hear yourself? Are you willing to go to jail about this? You don't have too much. You have too much to lose, B. Snap out of it. Get it together. Brian said, what do you care? You didn't love her. You didn't want a girlfriend. She was just someone to hang out with. Justin said, hold on, B. First, don't put words in my mouth. Second, I do have feelings for Misty, and I'm not going to stand here and let you disrespect her like that. She made a mistake, B. But the last time I checked, neither one of us had made it official, so technically she's free to do what she wants. We never had a physical, he said, we never had a physical fight, B. Even as kids, we got along. But if you think I'm going to sit here and let you disrespect her like that, you got me messed up. While Justin was holding Brian off, I managed to grab some clothes and put them on. Justin started pushing Brian towards the door. Just as Brian was going to walk out, he reached over on the arm of my couch and flipped the plates on the floor. I could tell that Justin had no idea that all this would go down, and all he could say was that he was sorry. Justin and Brian drove off, leaving me alone, crying, and above all, hungry. Girl, I was hungry. Now, I didn't hear from Justin and Brian for months. I was too embarrassed to call either one. I avoided places where I might run into them. In January of the following year, I received an invitation from an old classmate to attend her birthday party at a local hole in the wall. So I decided to go. I needed to get out the house. You can't live under a rock forever. The night at the party, I decided to get dialed up, makeup, waist trainer, and my heels. Hopefully, I might meet someone tonight. When I pulled up to the bar, I checked the parking lot for Brian's car. No telling what car Justin would be in, but Brian's car was identifiable. Parking lot was clear, so I decided to go in. As I walked in the bar area, I was greeted by a couple of my friends and the barmaid. Everyone wanted to know where I had been. I gave a very general answer to keep the people out of my business. I ordered my drink and found a bar stool. The bar was packed with partygoers and regular patrons. The music was good, and I felt good getting out the house. The barmaid brought my drink, and as I took the first sip, I looked to my left and locked eyes with a familiar face, Brian. Brian stared at me as if he was looking through me. His stare was cold as the ice in his drink. I had mixed emotions. I was scared to see him, but I missed him at the same time. Brian picked up his drink, took one swig, and pushed a half-empty glass to the barmaid. Brian got up from the bar and started walking towards me. My heart was racing. Was he going to speak? Was he going to curse me out or simply walk past me? I kept my eyes on Brian the entire time he was approaching me, and just like that, he had walked right past me. I was devastated. I would have rather he spit on me, yell at me, curse at me, but walk past me as if I didn't exist, as if we never shared our dreams and goals with each other. That broke my heart. I felt embarrassed, although no one knew what was going on. I wanted to leave, but some of my friends saw me at the bar and requested that I join them on the other side of the building where they had a booth. I was happy to see a smiling face, so I picked up my drink and proceeded to the booth. After a couple drinks, I decided to order some food from the kitchen, so I excused myself from the group of ladies and head towards the kitchen window. After ordering my food, I decided to step outside to get some air. I needed a cold, brisk air to sober up. The cook said I had a 10-minute wait, so I decided to check my voicemail and text messages. As I'm standing outside, I see a group of guys walking towards the entrance, so I politely move out the way. As the group walks in, I hear someone say, "Get off that phone." I look up, and it's Justin. Unlike Brian, he greets me with a huge smile and a hug. As he embraces me, I hold back tears. Justin asked me if I'm good and says that he's happy to see me out. Justin walks in the bar, leaving me outside with my phone. As soon as the door closes, I break down crying. I was crying for what could have been with Brian. I was crying because I had lost one of the best men I ever had met. I heard the kitchen call my name over the loudspeaker. I picked up my food and drove home. I couldn't bear to watch Justin have fun without me. When I arrived home that night, I had a lot on my mind and I decided to wipe the slate clean with love and upgrade my surroundings. I put my energy into accomplishing several goals, which included buying a home, and several months later, we were moving. My new home was in the up-and-coming East Side neighborhood. My neighbors were mainly young professional couples with small kids who decided to build up the community that they grew up in. Moving into my own home helped me forget about some of the heartaches, and I decorated my home, which kept me busy. I was also preparing for my kids' new school year. Hold on, somebody sent me a cash app. Hold on, let's answer her cash app. Hold on, y'all, and my phone gonna go dead in a minute, so we're gonna go and get off of here. Tiffany says, "Will I do well in my real estate license in DR?" Yes, you will do well with your real estate license, friend. And I need you to take the first offer from like a brokerage to work with them. That's the one you're supposed to work with. All right. Moving into my own home helped me forget about some of the heartaches, and I decorated my home, which kept me busy. I was also preparing for the kids' new school year. At the time, I had decided not to date anyone, which wasn't a bad idea because I didn't have time to entertain. During my downtime, I would sit on my porch and read a book while my kids were playing outside. I didn't know many of my neighbors, so I wanted to keep an eye on my kids. One Saturday morning, as I was sitting on my steps watching my kids play, I noticed a car parked on the opposite side of the street, and there appeared to be a man in the car watching me. I sat and watched him watch me. I didn't recognize the car, and the house across the street was vacant. My kids were 5 houses down having a water balloon fight, and I didn't want to disturb them. However, I didn't have time for a kidnapping either. Just as I stood up to walk down the steps to the unfamiliar car pulled up, and the man rolled down his driver's side of the window. I was paralyzed with fear. This had to be the longest 10 seconds of my life. I didn't have any glasses on, so I had to squint. Yes, I did, Tamika. I'm going to call you about that. So I had to squint to recognize the face. It was Brian. Brian said, "What are you doing over here?" I said, "Excuse me?" Brian said, "What are you doing on the street?" I said, "I live here." He said, "So your man bought you a house?" I said, "No, Brian, I bought a house." "Why?" He said, "Out of all the streets in Cleveland, why did you have to move on this one?" I said, "Brian, I'm not sure what your problem is, but you can pull off now. I'm over the entire situation." Y'all, by this time, it's been almost a year since all that happened. He said, "I bet you are. You won dealing with me and my brother. Priceless." I said, "Look, I apologized at this point. I don't know what to say." Brian says, "You're right. Come here." I said, "Brian, I'd rather not." He said, "You're more than welcome." I said, "You're more than welcome to park in my driveway." Brian started smiling at me. He said, "Man, come here and stop playing." I said, "Brian, this is something weird. I think I should stay on my side of the street." He was parked across the street from my house. He said, "Damn, Misty, can you just come here? I don't need everybody in my business. I own several houses on the street, and I don't need to have my tenants in my business." I said, "Okay, here I come." As I was walking towards Brian's car, I noticed that his smile transformed into an evil look, and I see the hatred in his eyes. This was a setup, so I stopped dead in my track. Brian leans back and spits in my direction. I jump back, avoiding his spit, and he says, "F you, B." He said, "Every time I see you, I'm going to spit on you. You broke my heart and with my own brother." I ran back to my porch ashamed and hurt by what had just transpired. Luckily for me, it would be 4 years before I would come face to face with Brian again. A couple of years later, I ended up moving to Texas and renting out my house. At least I wouldn't run into Brian there. So now we're going to fast forward to about 2013. While in Texas, I had started my comedy career, and I would post my show flyers and comedy clips on Instagram. I had a lot of friends from Cleveland on my IG who were liking and sharing my content. So I decided to book a show at my hometown to show some love. So y'all, this was in 2013. I had a show at the Hilarities in Cleveland, Ohio. I let everyone on social media know that I was coming back home for 3 days for the show and to hang out. The first night I was back in town, I got a message from Justin with a new number asking me to call him. It had been 6 years since the incident, and Justin was always nice, so I called. Justin said, "Hello." I said, "It's Misty. What's up?" He said, "You superstar." I said, "You doing big things in Texas? I'm just trying to get an autograph." I said, "You wow, Justin. How are you doing?" He said, "I'm good. Just had a new baby. Thinking about settling down." I said, "What? Congratulations, boy. You have come a long way. I'm proud of you." Justin said, "Yeah, me and my old lady are trying to come to your show. She's a nurse and she get off 2 hours before the show starts. So if her relief shows up on time, we will be there. But just in case we don't make it, I want you to stop by and see me in the morning. I'll text you the address. It's one of my, this is a true story. He said it's one of my spots. He meant one of his trap houses. I said, okay, cool. I will stop by around 9 a.m. then find some breakfast. He said, bet. I said, see you tomorrow. Hearing from Justin made me feel good. I had no idea he was following me on Instagram, and I was happy to hear that he was settling down. Our conversation made me think about Brian for a moment, but I soon snapped out of it when my friends pulled up. The next morning, I got dressed, and as promised, I had a text message from Justin with an address. I let him know that I was on my way. When I pulled up, I knew it was a trap house, but I wasn't scared because Justin was about that life, and I knew he would protect me. Okay. I knocked on the door, and an older man let me in and took me to the room where Justin was playing a video game. Justin said, what's up, Miss Comedian? I said, chill with all that. Laughing, what's up? Justin said, man, I wanted to see you before you blow up. Let me get your autograph. I said, Justin, you wow. Do you have any pictures of the baby? Of course. Look at her, looking just like her daddy. I look at the baby. I said, Justin, she's beautiful. Congratulations. I hope I see you in your booth tonight at the show. I appreciate you inviting me over, but I'm about to go because I'm hungry. He said, hold on. I want to talk to you about something. Give me 5 minutes to finish this game. Have a seat. I said, okay, I guess. Justin said, chill out. Let me see some of your comedy video clips. So as I sat on the couch, I saw Justin texting, and then he went back to the video game. I was sitting there looking crazy, and the old man at the door was sitting at the door like security. What had I gotten myself into? I grabbed my keys to walk out, and as I jumped up and headed to the door, I heard a familiar voice. It was Brian. Brian says, why is she here? Without looking up from the video game, Justin said, Misty, wait. Brian walked in and stared me down. Brian said, what are you doing here? I said, no, I'm just leaving. Justin said, this is why. So Brian turns to Justin and says, this is why you called me over here. What is this about? Justin said, man, this scenario has gone on long enough. Y'all need to work this out today. Brian said, bro, I'm out. I said, yeah, me too. Just as Brian and I were heading towards the door, Justin signals to the man guarding the door to lock it. As I turn around, I see Justin holding a little blicky in his lap. Justin said, I said y'all need to talk. Now you can talk here over breakfast, but the conversation will happen today. Brian, she hurt you, but you didn't tell her how you felt, so she was free to do what she wanted to do. Brian said, Justin, you just can't make me talk to nobody. Now get your mans off the door. Justin then clocked the blicky. He said, that ain't an option. Brian said, Misty, can I talk to you in the hallway? I said, yeah, sure. Brian said, my brother may be right. I haven't moved past what happened 6 years ago, and I need closure. Plus, I want to ask you about your comedy shows. I said, you know I'm a comedian? Brian said, yes, I follow you on social media. Would you like to get breakfast at your favorite spot? I said, yes. Brian said, cool, just follow me. Justin said, now that's what I'm talking about. Let's spread the love. Brian and I walk out together. For the first time in years, Brian smiled at me. I was nervous driving to the restaurant because I thought Brian would change his mind and drive off. Once at the restaurant, we found my favorite booth and ordered. The first 15 minutes was awkward, but eventually we warmed up to each other. I found out that Brian was single and focused on building his businesses. After breakfast, Brian asked me if I had time to follow him to one of his properties so he could pick something up, and I agreed. We pulled up to a nice single-family home in the suburbs. I parked on the street, but Brian told me to park in the driveway. I intended to sit in the car, but he invited me in. I could tell that someone lived in the house. Turns out it was Brian. We sat on the couch and started talking about our past. In the middle of the conversation, Brian grabbed my hand and led me to the master bedroom. I didn't know what to think, so I stood there in the middle of the bedroom. Brian walked over to me, lifted my arms up above my head to remove my you-know-what. He then bent down to kiss my neck and collarbone. I can't lie, I missed him. Brian laid me down and you know what? After a marathon session, we were resting. During this time, we discussed the events that led up to that fateful day, and we both apologized to each other. I told Brian all about Texas and had started filling him in on my comedy career. Brian interrupted me mid-sentence. Brian said, I missed you. I said, I missed you too. Brian said, if I could go back in time, we would still be together. I said, I can't lie. I think about you often. Brian said, do you like this house? I said, it's nice. He said, it's yours if you move back. He said, I know you need a place to stay since you have renters in your property and this house is enough room for you and your kids. He said, if you don't like this house, I have others you can pick from. You don't have to pay rent. So what do you say when you move back? I said, Brian, end the story. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for rocking with me. It's been real. It's your girl, Culture Misty. That was the end of that story. I'm petty like that. Now say that. If you think I said in this is true. She said, I know you lied. Everything in the book is true. I just changed the names of some of the people to avoid, you know what I'm saying? To you know, protect the innocent. To protect their baby mamas and their kids or whatever. Yes. So listen, this book, the first book, y'all, I wrote this book when I had COVID. You said, nope, you got to tell us what happened. No, ma'am. I wrote this. That's how the story ends too. I wrote this book when I had COVID. So y'all, as y'all read this book, I literally had a temperature of I don't know what. I was out of my mind. I wrote this book in 2 weeks. The book leave you hanging like that. Ain't no other part. Listen, the book literally ends like the story literally ends like that. Whoever has my book, if you got my book, can y'all please tell the people that's how the story ends in the book? I'm petty like that. I'm petty like that. That's how the story is in the book. This is not me just. Actually is in my book. Go to my link tree, go down to like my books. It says something about my books. This is book number 1. Now I'm gonna tell y'all, this one got a lot of typos in it. You say, how did you end the book like that? Because I'm a mess. Listen, this book got typos in it. I wrote this book in 2 weeks on my iPhone when I was in the bed dying with COVID. So this book has typos in it. The second book is a little better with the typos. So no, y'all don't need no more. I gotta go. My phone about to go dead. All you gotta go do, the book is actually on Kindle as well. All you gotta do is go to the link tree in my bio and get you the damn book. That's it. Okay? Thank y'all so much, y'all. Let's manifest. You said I watch too much Law and Order. No, I don't. This has really happened in my whole life, Shirley. This is not some type of made-up thing. Justin and Brian are real people. They are brothers. They are very much real. Right? Listen, so yes, and I'm doing the third book. I got the outlines written for the third book. I'm gonna start writing the third book. I had to finish one of the stories. You said, man, now they need to hear what was going on. They don't need to know what was going on in my house during COVID. Oh, you talking about what was going on in my house during COVID? Well, that's in the second book. You need to know what I said to Brian. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. So they say they need to know what was going on in my house during COVID. The thing at my house during COVID, that's in my second book. That's story number 2, going up. So what she talking about, what happened at my house during COVID, that's number 2. You said clearly Brian didn't get his wish. Now here's the deal, Nate. I did move back home for a while. Now why you trying to be funny? I did move back home for 2 years. Now I'm not gonna tell you I moved home for 2 years, friend. I'm not gonna tell you why I moved back home, but I did move home for 2 years. Okay. Yes, I moved back home for 2 years. Why you trying to be talking about clearly she ain't get that rich kid in Texas? Don't do me. You don't know me, friend. You don't know me. All right, y'all. Listen. So the third book is coming out. Sequoia said I need a mini series. Check my Cash App. Now wait a damn minute, y'all. We about to go. My phone about to go dead. All right, y'all. We gonna manifest. I haven't been manifesting. Thank you so much. Let's go ahead and see what's on Cash App. Hold on. Tamika, I'm gonna call you when I get off of here. All right, Tiffany says, Tiffany, I answered your question, baby. What other question? Hold on, let me see if it's something I didn't get. I'm not getting my charger. I'm done tonight. Tiffany, I answered your question. I said you are going to do very well. If that was your question, you're going to do very well in real estate, and you need to accept the first offer you get from a brokerage because you're going to excel there. Girl, I don't know. Vogue me. So Anita, they're gonna be fine. Tamika, I'm gonna call you. I'm not on this phone because this phone about to go dead. You say I don't need to tell y'all nothing. Hell, I done told y'all enough. Y'all go on my link tree. Go on my link tree, y'all. Go to my link tree and get the book. Y'all can order them from Amazon tonight. It's on my link tree. Go to my link tree and get my book and order them off of Amazon tonight. Okay. You said, so yes, Sequoia says I need to go ahead and do a mini series. I said we need to get some people together that know how to do that. right? Y'all go buy the damn book. Okay? Go buy the damn book. The third book will be out before the end of the year. The third book will be out before the end of the year. I did write 1.5 stories out the third book already. I actually I did read one of the stories out the new book. Okay, it was called The Truck Driver. But the other book, now here's the great part about this book. Now we about to go. We about to manifest and get out of here. At the end of the book, y'all, at the end of every book, I write a little bit of this story at the end of every book, I write a little bit of a story, a teaser. Okay, I write a teaser of another story. It's called a sneak peek. Story number 1. Hold on, y'all. There's a story in every book at the end called G and Gia. There's a story called G and Gia. Okay, hold on. I'm waiting for it to come back. Yeah, my power going. Listen, y'all. There's a story at the end of every book called G and Gia. So each book, I give you a little bit of this story about G and Gia. And baby, when I tell you that was the greatest story of all time, I think I even do it in this book. Yes. So in book number 2, you get more about G and Gia. This is a 5 book series. G and Gia will be I do have an editor now. I didn't have an editor before. When I wrote the first book, I didn't have an editor. I just put it out. I didn't know, like when I had COVID, I really thought I didn't think I was gonna make it. So I put the book out. So I do have an editor. I do have an editor now to edit the book. So this book is more coherent. Like this book doesn't have the type of like grammatical errors the other book have, right? So I'm going to eventually fix volume 1. But if you buy this one, this will be the COVID edition, okay? I am going to fix the volume 1 and republish it. But this one is a lot different. This book is thicker and everything. Just know, y'all, I write all of my stories myself. All of my stories, I don't have no ghostwriters. I'm not Jay-Z. I wrote all of these stories. It's things that I lived through, that I went through. This is my truth. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and manifest. All right? Whatever it is that you want to manifest tonight, I want you to go ahead and put that in the comments. Whatever you want to manifest tonight, I want you to go ahead and put it in the comments, okay? Baby, that's the COVID edition, okay? Because I was out of my damn mind. Justin and Jason changed names. Thank you so much. All right, y'all. Listen, one of the things that I wanted to manifest in 2000, and when I was sitting at my desk in Progressive in Cleveland, Ohio in 2018, I had one goal on my desk. I said that was to be the greatest storyteller of my time. That was to be the greatest storyteller of my time. You hear me? So I'm aiming for that. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and manifest. All right. So whatever it is that you want, that you're asking God for, I want you to put it in the comments. All right. Let's breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more. Breathe in. Hold it. I want you to see it. Oh, I know. Hold on. See it, believe it, and know it. Whatever you're asking God for, see it, believe it, and know it. And release. Give it back to God. On the count of 3, I want you to manifest in me. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Y'all, I want to thank y'all for rocking with me today. For all of today, if you was with me earlier, listen, we made it through. To Anita, normally when I have my books, when I come out with a new book, I do pre-order copies, like for the third one, which I did, and that was I normally do pre-order copies, and I sell those, and I sign them, I autograph them for people, and I send them out, and you also get like a little magnet or something. I normally give away bookmarks or magnets, like you get some little memorabilia, and then everybody else order them off of Amazon. So I took the pre-sales for book number 3 down because I got sidetracked and I had stopped writing it. But I will write the book. Baby, it's been a day. But I am back to feeling like me and feeling good in the neighborhood. And I want to thank y'all for that. So yes, after I finish the second story and once I start the third one, I will then put the pre-orders back up. the pre-order copies. Y'all can then pre-order your book, and I'll sign it, autograph it to you, send it to you, and send you a little trinket as well with your book. Normally, they're magnets that look like the book, and you can put it on your refrigerator. All right. I know you did, Linda, like you and 2 other people did, and then I took the pre-order down. All right. So, Linda, you know you got a book coming, period, point blank. Okay. Hey, y'all have a wonderful day. Thank you for rocking with me all this time on Facebook and on YouTube. Remember, share this live with somebody you love. It might change their life. You guys have been what?